Well, let's see if this is actually working. Doing a live stream. It's New Comic Book Day. And I'm trying to work with this damn duck thing. Whatever. What is this thing? I don't know. It's just what's going on right now. See if anybody's on right now. Anybody's looking at what's going on. If anybody's watching right now, you could just put something up so we could see that somebody is acknowledging something here. Because I don't know if I'm actually functioning correctly here. I don't know. I don't know if the chat is working. I don't know anything. Is it working? Is it not working? I don't know. Okay, it's not made for kids. But I will not restrict it to over 18 because maybe somebody's that's, 18. How do we turn this chat thing on? Are we getting the chat going? Hey, Sick Face. All right. So I'm actually working. This is functioning. This is actually functioning. Congratulations to me. Congratulations to me. How's it going, Six Face? How was your New Comic Book Day? Did you get anything funky? Did you get anything crazy? Did you get anything awesome? Hope you did. I feel like today was a lot of blah. I actually got more excited about a couple back issues that I got rather than the actual New Comic Book haul itself. Did you get fed up with the House of Slaughter? The House of Slaughter. The House of Slaughter madness. Let's hear a oh yeah for the House of Slaughter. You bought $30 worth of 25-cent books. You know what? I love those kind of buys. Hope you got some really good stuff. I got some dollar buys here. I got a few 33-cent books. It works out that way because it's 3 for $1 or 34 cents, whatever, But I'll show you guys what I got today. And I also got a box, a little box. You got the cover A and the foil. Okay. So I got fed into FOMO today. Let me show you guys what I got. Six Face, let me show you what I got. So as usual, I hit my 2 LCSs. That's what I always do. Now, there's certain things that I get duplicates of. Why? Because I'm an idiot. Because I'm gonna miss out on the billions. I'm gonna miss out on the billions of dollars. So I have to get duplicates. And plus, I like to give things away, so that's why I get the duplicates. So let's open up the one pack. Let's start with this one because look, the endless supply of free comic book day bags is still endless. Let's pull out these new books. I got some back issues as well from the discount dollar bin. Let's start off with this comic shop news, as always. Don't see anything too exciting in here. Headless. That's interesting. Headless. Hey, Evil. How's it going? If you guys want to hop on, any of you guys want to hop on here. I'm not staying on for too long today, though. But if you guys want to hop on, you're more than welcome. How you doing, Glenn? Thanks for joining in. Yeah, I put the link in there. You want to jump in. I could discuss, and you could tell me what crap I got. YH crap and that kind of thing. But this is not crap. This is always fun to get. This comic shop news. Why? Because it's free to me and it's chock full of news. Comic shop news. I think I missed that. There was a lot of stuff I did not take. I passed up on. We got a guest today. Hello, welcome, my evil friend. It's your week this week. It's Halloween week.
That's not my week.
It's your week, evil one.
My week is during the red moon. It's the blood of the witch.
Oh, so this one is just the masquerade time.
This time is just like party time for the evil people. You know, it's not really like it's not our Christmas. This is like our 4th of July type. You know.
Very cool. Did you go to LCS today?
No, broke buddy.
I don't blame you because there was a lot of crap today, and you're gonna see the crap I got today. But I got some back issues that were pretty cool.
Let's see it, buddy. Let's see it.
All right. So we got this. This I got for $2. Anybody know anything about this series? You know anything about the series, Evil?
Yeah. You never seen the movies?
No. I actually saw partial a movie of a Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass. I mean,
it's like some kind of loser superhero or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, do you know why I got this?
Why? Because it's blank, so you can draw on it?
Exactly. Exactly. So anytime I see one of these things, I pick them up so I could draw on them and give them out. So I got one of these. And then we'll continue the blank theme with House of Slaughter.
That's a good
cover
one
D.
right
I had one set ordered at each of my LCSs. Why? Because I'm an idiot. Why am I getting duplicates of these? I don't know. I'm happy that I did because only one of them had a full set for me. This one actually had the full set. It had the blank cover. It had this foil.
Ooh, I like that.
Shiny cover.
Yeah.
It had this cover. This, I think, is the cover B. Yeah, kind of. And then we have this.
The regular cover A.
Which I think I like the cover A better than anything else, to be honest with you.
Me too, and you know why? It's just the purple and the orange. The purple and the orange sells it.
This is very Halloween-y.
Like perfect timing. They said it was pushed back because the orders and stuff. I think they just pushed it back for Halloween.
You know, speaking of Halloween, I passed up on the long Halloween thing that he popped out this week.
I'm not reading it. I've told this to everybody. I've not read the original series, and on top of that, depending on what the series is, it makes no sense to me because if you know Batman, the Long Halloween is the only mystery, the only case that he never solved. So if they finish it, it takes away from that.
I feel a little bit the same. At the same time, I don't know. I'm done with all these gimmicks. I got a feeling I'll find those in the discount bins in a few months from now, and I'll pick it up. And I'll pick it up then. You know, I'm sick paying freaking full price for half these comics.
I told people because I didn't read the sign-offs on it because I haven't read the original series. I know all about it. Like, I mean, I've seen the animated movies they just did. And like, I mean, it's been a well-known Batman storyline for a long time. But without me capable of reading it, I've never read it. Okay, so I didn't look at the sign-ups. So for all I know, it could be just a side story that takes place during the Long Halloween, which I'm hoping for, because if they finish it, it takes away from the fun of what the original book is. So I don't see them doing that. I want to say it's just going to be a side adventure, or it might be after the events of Long Halloween, but maybe not, maybe not completing the mystery type thing.
I'm not really sure what it was. I'll tell you something. The covers, they had two covers at the LCS. Mm-hmm. I wasn't pulled in by either or, and you know how I am with covers. Like, you could be the crappiest book on earth, but if you have a killer cover, you'll probably pull me in. So that it was mediocre. I want to say covers, and at the same time, like I said, it's like a one shot. added story to something that really doesn't need anything. So it didn't
Mhm.
really pull me. Like I said, if I find that in the discount bins or the wall of the heavy discounts down the line, I'll pick it up. Then I'm not that thrilled about it. And there was a lot of comics like that this week that I just passed on. I'm
What
done.
what
I'm
are some
down with the
other
moths.
the
Hey,
what?
Uzumaki, how's it going? There's a comic
What
called
is
Moths.
Moss? Oh, okay, okay. Well, Moss. Okay, I passed on Moss, and I
I
have
passed
heard
on
it's.
that too.
Well,
Um,
I've heard it's extremely good, but the reason I passed on it is because it's a huge expanding universe that there's a lot of titles in it. And if you haven't read the other titles, I mean, it doesn't make sense for you to jump in on Moss. Moss is like the third volume in it.
hey,
Like
Nicole, how you doing?
erratic, it ties into that. Telepath ties
I
into
just
that.
gave it a hard pass. There was another thing called Swamp Dogs that I passed up on.
I don't know Swamp
There
Dog.
was another thing called the hell, another Black Caravan book. Forgot the hell the name of this, but I passed up on a lot of stuff this week. Like I really did, and I think I'm going to start doing that moving forward. This I didn't pass up on. Why? I'm kind of intrigued. I love this cover, by the way. This is really, really reminiscent to Stefan Platt art.
Is that Tigress? Is that who
Yeah,
that's
it's
supposed to be?
Tigress,
Hmm.
Tigra, uh,
Yeah,
McNeven cover. I
I've
like
liked
I like
I've
the
liked it.
art a lot. What's that? What's
I've
that?
liked it so far, and that's saying something because I haven't liked a lot of Marvel lately, but I do like this run so far. But I mean, we're only 3 issues into it, so
There's something to this. This actually might. I got the first issues because I gotta get the Moon Knight #1 because the movie's gonna come out and everything's gonna blow up, and I have to be part of the FOMO. But I got it. I read it. I enjoyed it. I got #2. I enjoyed it. I got #3. It was pretty good. Let's see what #4 is all about. If it continues down that thread, I might have my continuous ongoing series that I started from #1, and that's not a mini series. So let's see what happens with that. This is
never
a
know.
book. This is a book that I picked up. I've been I've been fighting myself about Spawn. Do I want to continue with it? Do I not want to continue with it? Hey, Manuel, how you doing? I keep fighting myself about these books. One of the things that keeps pulling me in are these damn covers. Look at this cover.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
This is not a McFarlane cover, but you know what?
Is that a Capullo?
No, I don't know who it is. BB. Who's the hell's BB?
Mm-mm.
Barberi. Is that who it is? Barberi? Let's see who the
Hey,
cover artist is. Cover artist Bjorn Barends.
oh, I do know Bjorn.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Draw.
This is like straight out of the Frazetta books.
Yeah, but there's you.
This is a really, really nice book. I really appreciate that. So I skipped last issue of Spawn. This cover just pulled me in. It's $2.99, and for the most part, they're decent reads. I can't. They're not bad. The reads. So we'll see how it goes with Spawn. Maybe he'll get me back in. I haven't been fully reading Spawn since the early '90s, so maybe this will be what gets me back in. I don't know. They try to pull us all back in with that King Spawn crap and all the Spawn writer and what's the other thing? The Spawn of the Dead. I don't know, like all these Spawn guys. And I'm actually more held to these. I get the #1s, but that's about it. Story is great, Norin. All right. The McFarlane cover was very nice as well. It had the black and light lines, but I had to draw a line. Like I said, I'm being conservative. I'm trying to be fiscally responsible because I'm freaking blowing the budget on all these crappy books. Speaking of a crappy book, I found this book. This is Superman #2.
Hey.
Last week, I was able to get the full set of Superman 1 through 4 so far. The Son of Kal-El. Why did I get this cover? Why? because it's got his gay lover in here, and it's gonna go to $1 billion once he kisses him in issue 5. This
Have
is
you
his
read
first
it?
appearance. So I got it. So everybody that wants to pay me $1 billion for this copy, I got it right here. Anyway, I had the whole set. I had the other one that looks like Family Ties cover or whatever.
Mhm.
I got my OCD that kicks in. I need to be complete. I had everything else. So I saw this. I was like, you know what? Let's just be complete. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going to
got the
get
phone.
issue 5.
Hey, why
And
stop
you know
it?
what? The funny thing is, they're not horrible, these stories.
That's what I was asking. Are you reading it?
Yeah, they're not. I've started reading them, and they're not bad. Unlike the Tim Drake stuff, this is not bad.
The Tim Drake stuff is a side story. It's not even a main story.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, we talked about this. Like, that I really feel that was a cash grab, like a gimmick, just to bring some life in it. I know you're going to tell me about the million Robins that exist or whatever the case. In my opinion, there's only 4 or 5 real Robins, but but that's basically it. I threw my link in there. If anybody else wants to jump in, you're more than welcome to. I assure you, I promise you guys, I am not going to hold a long stream this time because I'm very tired. I'm very cranky, and you don't want to hear me ranting or raving. I am surprised. I am surprised that I have 8 people in the chat right now. I have 8 people viewing right now. I'm going against Lords of the Long Box. I'm going against Pressable Defects. I'm going against all these big shots. And
Well, when
I
you got
actually was it,
when
oh,
you
there you
got
go. We went down to 6 now.
well, so you just lost people. You don't count out the numbers of people watching. Let them lurk, okay?
Yeah, I
So
do need a Snickers.
when you got the right kind of rants, it's going to bring in the right kind of people. You know what I'm saying?
How's it going, Jerry? Yeah, I do need a Snickers, Nicole. I do. Yeah, you want to make a commercial with me? You know what? They could do that.
Aggressive. See, look at that. See, he's talking about what I'm talking. He said, "I like smaller bars." Of course, man. I like. That's what. Ooh, see. You got the stuff I like right there. You got that vinyl.
So this is another one that I'm continuing with.
Not much.
Pleasantly pleased with
I
this
love it.
with this comic so far. Thought it was going to be crap, to be quite honest with you. You're actually the guy that turned me on to buying the first issue, and then I continued from there. You did a review on it, and then you compared it to the plastic run.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And I said to myself, if they have a copy, I'll pick it up. And they happen to have a copy. And they got me. This is not necessarily my favorite kind of style as far as art.
Out of all the covers, that's my least favorite. I don't know, because doesn't it have a back? Flip it over. The back, I think the back is even weird too. Yeah, I do like that part of it. I wish they would have picked that part for the front cover, but I mean, I love his art in general. I mean, if you flip through the book, it's all the same art. I mean,
But it is very fitting. That's what I was about to say. It's not my favorite art, but the style inside and out.
Oh yeah, it works.
It connects a lot, and it fits with the story type. So I'm good with that. But you're right. The back cover does look a lot better than the front.
He had a different cover that he was.
It's actually the same exact cover, just different colors.
It's reflected. Yeah.
You see that? Same cover.
It's good and evil. It's supposed to be represented.
There you go. The good and evil. Like 2 sides of a record. Like when you flip over and you hear the 2 different tracks. There you go. And then the last new book I got from there was Primordial. Number 2.
That was a good book.
Number 1 was decent.
Yeah,
it was decent enough for me to make me want to pick up the second one. And look, it's got the little Cosmodog in there, in the bubble. The first one had the monkeys on the cover. This one has the dogs on the covers.
I was sold on this book when they did the Dark Side of the Moon tribute. If you don't know about it, the first issue has a splash page that's a Dark Side of the Moon tribute. It was dope.
Yeah, I caught on to that too. I just figured if I mentioned that, I'd be dating myself and people would call me an old fart.
Well, we got some old fogies in here with us. You never know. I look young, but I'm an old fogey too.
Yeah, you know, it's where's what's his hidden gem? That little guy. He it's probably his bedtime right now. That's why he's not on. But you know, he usually likes to give me old boomer crap about my age. So the rest of the stuff I got from this shop was $1 books. I got exactly 10 books. The reason why their deal is you need to buy 10 in order to get $1 a piece, or you have to pay whatever the sticker is. So the stickers are usually $4 to $5, $6. I might as well just buy 10 books just to get them as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
So the first book I got is DP7 #1. Why? Because
Why?
I'm freaking weird.
DP7 was good, fool. I don't know what you're talking about. I read that growing up.
I am picking every single New Universe #1. Don't ask
Why?
me why.
Yeah, I was about to say why.
This is one of my weird little things. So if I could get them $1 or $2 a piece, I'm picking up every single New Universe. And you know what? There's a couple that are expensive for some reason or another. Star brands are expensive.
Yeah, Star Brand is.
Why? Because FOMO. I don't know. But I'm going to get that one for $1 or $2. I promise you. I'm not paying $10-$20 for a Star Brand #1 New Universe comic. Then the next one is Kickers #1 New Universe.
Never heard of that.
This is probably one of the worst ones out there. Maybe this and Merc are probably the worst ones from the New Universe run.
Merc was pretty bad. I remember Merc.
Yeah, I think they're really like neck and neck. Maybe Cyforce. I don't know. They're all pretty bad.
I never read Cyforce, so I don't know.
But they're awesomely bad. And look at this. For all you newsstand nuts. Look at this.
Right.
This is a newsstand.
See, people, this is why I love Comic Journey right here. You see this? That's so clever right there.
Oh, it's clever, man. I got myself a newsstand Kickers Inc. Look at this, man.
He's all like, for all you people out there, the newsstand fans are all like, FOMO, I gotta get that newsstand.
There you go, man. You know, Cyforce is a ripoff of FF. How dare you call anything New Universe a ripoff of anything? It's a new universe. It's a brand new start.
It's a new universe.
It says it right on the title. There's no ripoffs.
Nicole,
Speaking of ripoffs, here, how's this sound? I found this. This is from IDW. V Wars #1.
Is it supposed to be like Vampire Wars, or is that like
That's what I think it is.
Or is that
Look
a
at this
new
cover. It's got a bunch of zombies and vampire-looking zombie animal things are on the cover.
I thought it was like a
cemetery.
New type of gonorrhea, like gonorrhea, you know.
Yeah. They had a whole bunch of these. So I'm like, you know what? #1, let me get it. Let me read it. And if I enjoy it, I'll go get the rest of the run for $1 a piece.
Don't let him read it. Y'all stop him. Stop him right now.
What's that?
I said, don't let him read him. Y'all stop him. Everybody in the chat, stop him from reading that comic. No, I'm playing. I don't care.
If you like, I could read it out loud to you guys online and you know tell you all about it. But I also think there's some kind of TV show or movie called V Wars.
It was V.
No, V I know. V was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
the mouses and all that stuff.
But as far as V Wars,
see, Norrin actually says that there was look. Oh, I keep forgetting. Look at this. Look, I'm getting fancy again. I just put the thing on the thing. Yeah, V Wars had a show. See, there was somebody that I could have sworn there was some kind of show with that.
I don't remember. I know
there you go. I just got this for my. There's going to be $1 billion too. V Wars #1.
I know we had Z Wars, and that's a zombie, but I don't know about V Wars. But
I have to jump into TNH. See you all in a bit. What the hell is TNH?
Team Nerd Herd.
Oh, Team Nerd Herd. I know what TNA is, but I don't know what TNH is. But I appreciate you jumping in and going into the Nerd Herd, Glenn. Tell him hello from me.
He's a mod, so.
Look at this. This was interesting.
Yeah, Puppet Master.
Puppet Master #1
Mhm.
from
Full Moon.
Action Lab Danger Zone Comics with a T plus. How am I going to resist this? How am I going to resist that?
Nazi
Puppet
puppets.
Master.
I mean, come on. Can't go
Puppet.
wrong with evil Nazi puppets, you know.
This is gold. This is gold, baby. This is gold. Where's Jerry? This is gold, Jerry. Speaking of gold, this is a probably crap, but it was Martian Manhunter #1. I think it's from early
Hey,
90s, probably. Judging from the price, it's $1.25, so it has to be early 90s from what I'm looking at.
84.
V Wars was on Netflix. Okay, so all right, I gotta check it out. I gotta read that, and then I'm gonna check it out on Netflix and see what that was all about. Did it suck? Please tell me it didn't suck.
It
Please tell
probably
me.
did.
Please
You
tell me
never.
my V Wars is worth $1 billion. And I found a diamond in the rough. Come on.
Well, that's why it's going to be $1 billion because it sucks. That's what really makes
Don't
stuff, you
be
know.
at my party, man. I'm thinking I'm gonna win. So we got Martian Manhunter #1. Got it because it's #1. Martian Manhunter is one of these characters that are hit or miss with me. Sometimes he's written really, really well, but usually
He said,
he's
check the
like a
back.
bland kind of character that nobody knows what to do with. And he's got a lot going for him. I love what they did with him in the JLA run in the 1990s. I don't know if you ever read that, Justice League, when they did the whole white Martians invasion.
I've read bits and pieces, but Free Energy said, check the backstage. He's waiting.
Oh, there we go. We got somebody. Oh, we got Free Energy.
Yo, what
Welcome.
up, man? What's up, guys?
Hey, Free Energy. How you doing?
Hey, how you
Welcome.
Mr. Doom himself.
Are we calling you Free Energy, or are we calling you something else?
You can call me Leo. You can call me Free Energy. You can call me Free. Whatever you want.
All right,
Doom,
free
Doom.
Leo.
Doom Energy.
Yeah, Free Doom. Yeah, that was my nickname on. I was on Rod the Rican's Lamer Frame show, and my nickname was Free Doom because I had on a MF Doom mask for the Halloween episode.
Well, I'm very happy to have you on. I'm very, very happy to have you on for the first time here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Has anything I showed you really talked to you today? Has any of these new comics from today really like said I have to run to the LCS and go get 200 copies of it because they're going to be amazing?
Well, the new comic book days, the Spawn I do resonate with because I picked up King Spawn, or I pulled it. I haven't picked up from the shop yet, but I pulled King Spawn and Gunslinger, like you said, getting the #1s. I don't know if you know this journey, but I am brand new into comic collecting. Batman Fortnite was my first comic 6 months ago. So what really does resonate with me is those in your hand, because it's just stuff that I've heard about vaguely, but just also stuff that I'm super unfamiliar with. So it's that kind of stuff where I'm really interested in, just to learn more about everything, a little bit of everything.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you like this kind of stuff, I'm not saying this because I want you to watch my channel, my videos, whatever the case is. Whenever I do unboxings with weird hauls that I get of big lots of books, watch those videos because there's very specific targeted stuff. And so stuff like this that I get from the dollar bins, some of it is like really weird. Like Puppet Master is a weird comic. It's a cult classic kind of a thing. But I get it because it's me. You know, I know that Mike, you know, he's got a little.
And that's Action Lab, right? I see the Action Lab logo. Yep. Yeah.
I know that Mike's got a little bit of soft spot for all this, you know, B movie kind of stuff. You know, so like that's this stuff is weird. Don't think this is like anything that's read worthy or spec worthy or anything like that. This is just weird collections that I get of stuff like that. So don't really take that in mind. But sometimes when you pick up like a book like Martian Manhunter, this might turn out a good read. It's one in 4 miniseries. And then I got this Metamorpho #1,
Ooh.
which is I want to see what they did with him at that time. I forgot what they did with Metamorpho. Usually, I have stuff from the '60s. From this,
That's where Metamorpho gets good because he
yeah.
joins Batman and the Outsiders, but that's kind of when they redefined him, and it gets a lot better from that point.
Is that almost like
Here?
a chameleon type character?
He's so dope. He's so weird to explain, but he's almost like he's kind of like a mix between Mr. Fantastic because he can stretch and stuff, but he can also like change like different limbs into stuff like a weapon, like kind of like Clayface, but then he also can add element like to it like freezing stuff or fire and stuff like that. He's a weird
Very
mix of it.
dynamic then. Yeah, he's very dynamic.
But it's funny
DC's got a lot of weird characters like that.
his
But they're fun.
personality-
They're fun
his-
reads.
His personality's like Deadpool though.
Like,
he's kinda like
Plastic
awful
Man is the original, the absolute original, like stretchy guy.
Hmm.
And he's so much more fun to read. Like if you're not going to take it seriously, than
thought
like Mr. Fantastic.
I thought Fantastic was before Plastic Man.
No way. Plastic Man was in the 50s. Police
remember.
Comics. That's where he first came up.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, because FF1 was what, 61, I want to say?
Yeah, it might even be late 40s. I think it was 50s, though, that Police Comics debuted him. Just a fun character. Then DC was like they made Mr. Fantastic, and then DC decided they need to make a second stretchy character, and they made this stupid character called Elongated Man.
Elongated Man.
You remember that?
Yeah, he's still around.
Because we don't need we need more stretchy characters. How's it going, Brian?
They have two more after him. They just came out with one recently in Teen Titans Academy.
There was another stretchy guy that came out with the Great Lake Avengers. If you ever read that run of West Coast Avengers,
So
but here's a nice little read: Seduction of the Innocent. This is I forgot who the publisher Eclipse. So they did a lot of this stuff.
looks
Late
cool.
80s, early 90s. Obscure stuff. One of 3. I picked this up just to remind myself what it's all about. But these are like fun little horror stuff to read.
Mm-hmm.
I know that SOTI, that's a big like genre label, kind of like overarching like stuff they did in the Golden Age and Silver Age, the Seduction of the Innocent.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of had that narrative woven in between all the the dramas and the horrors of back in the day.
Happy New Comic Book Day, Brian.
Yeah.
If you want to jump in, you're more than welcome.
And then Nora just said another one, like Kamala Khan is a stretchy one. I forgot about her.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kamala Khan.
But actually, guys, you might have heard this. They might be retconning her powers completely. In the new Marvel series, either in animated or live action, she has a gauntlet that is basically like a power, like a Green Lantern Corps style tech power. And so she'll have like a tech hand, basically like a virtual kind of Green Lantern style like projection almost, rather than an actual like stretchy. So they might actually do that with her now.
She won't stretch anymore?
They took out her stretchy hand, and now, like I said, it's like a kind of like a projection hologram style like gauntlet usage.
They got to ruin her.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, they got to ruin her. They got a nice little character that's probably the most original character from all these new generation characters that they have. The kids like her, even some adults like her, and they're gonna go just to change her. Leave her alone. She's like a little groupie. That's the whole gimmick behind it.
Yeah, I haven't heard one person that's happy about the change, to be honest.
She's a little Captain Marvel groupie. She's actually.
What's funny?
What's that?
Is growing up. What's funny is growing up. I've been reading comics for 40 years, and I started with Fantastic Four. And honestly, I've never been a fan of Mr. Fantastic. But when they made Kamala Khan and her powers were stretchy, for some reason it fit, and I actually liked that about her. So if they do change that, I don't know if it would, resonate the same. But it's kind of weird. I don't know.
See, I never had a problem with Mr. Fantastic with the stretchy part, as long as he was part of the Fantastic Four. I don't think I would ever like be interested in any comic where he's on his own. Like
The
I could read a Thing solo book.
Oh, I did, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Thing is my favorite character. I mean, besides Doom, and I love Doom.
Mhm.
What I hate about, and you're gonna find this free energy, and I hate this about Doom because Doom is a major threat to, in my opinion, in the use in the MCU, right? And to
Mhm.
me, he's almost at a Thanos level or above that because of the
Mhm.
damage or infliction that he could do. But kind of how they use him is like just a regular level villain like Joker or something.
Mhm.
I mean, and that's kind of like my one drawback to Doom is they just don't use him in the right fashion. But back to what he said, I would never read a Mr. Fantastic comic by himself. I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't even think it would be fun. And it's funny because I love the intelligent side of him, but still, it's like something. I mean, I don't know. I've never been a big, like I love that he's a part of the Fantastic Four, but
That's exactly. He's a great component to that team. Solo, nah, not so much. Even a Human Torch,
yeah,
because
I would
because you know
more
what? I
visible.
could like the teenage Human Torch that's like a hothead, like literally and figuratively, where he's like trying to be the show off and that kind of thing. I could see like a nice little series going on where like because he's a show off and all that stuff, like things go wrong. Like he's sitting trying to impress women, and then he burns like a whole village down by accident. Like I could see, I could see
Yeah.
something like that going on with Human
Yeah.
Torch.
Yeah,
There's something to that.
The Fantastic Four, like in the current run, it's very like jokey and kind of cartoony and like kind of it almost seems like it's aimed towards like a younger audience. I feel like once they get into like their Elseworlds from like the 2000s, like all that type of stuff, like alternate universes, that's when they get more serious. But for me, the Fantastic Four will always be, they call them the comics first family, but to me, it'd be like my first comic family because as a Doctor Doom collector, he, half of his run or most 80% of his run is in the Fantastic Four. So that for me, at least as a new reader and a new collector, they will just always have that spot of like nostalgia and just like a lot of people talk about John Byrne's run, and I have a lot of those, and it's just I think they're good stories. I think they're good art. I think it's a but yeah, a lot of the new stuff is like very they treat Johnny Storm like he's always been treated as a kid. He's a kind of a kid, but I feel like they have so much potential if they would just make it a little bit more serious.
Well, they need to bring it back to the '60s. I don't know how many of the books or reprints of the '60s run you've read of the Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
but in the '60s, there were really like I mean, the Fantastic Four are not superheroes; they're explorers.
Mhm.
They
Scientists.
explore. They look for different
Because
things.
they had just gotten their powers after
Yeah.
that accident, so yeah, they weren't born superheroes or anything like that.
It just so happens that they actually fight, to save the world and that kind of thing. But the thing with that run, especially from 1 to 100 of the Fantastic Four, they use that one because they're exploring the all new universes and all new things and characters and that kind of thing. They use that platform to introduce a lot of great characters. The number of first appearances and introductions of worlds and characters that was done in that run of 1 to 100, I don't think any other comic run has matched it as far as quality first appearances.
Yeah, I
Because
mean, you got
Spider-Man has a lot of
you
first
got
appearances.
Black Panther, you got the Inhumans, you got who else do you have?
Oh, you could go. You name the whole list. You got the
Galactus, Silver Surfer. Yeah, you got
Annihilus, Blastar, what's it called? The Skrulls, the
yeah.
Kree, Mole Man, Molecule Man. It just goes on and on. You're talking about endless
But that
amount of like
okay. So
quality appearances.
before we go on too far, that's a great conversation piece because I just thought about that. And Fantastic Four are seen as a superhero group, right? It's a superhero comic, but when you think about it, like in all the Fantastic Four that I've ever read, they're not really a superhero family or group, and period. The only time that I've ever seen them being a superhero group is when they're involved in an event like Civil War or something like that.
Mhm.
But like when you read their main series, it's exactly like that. Like they never got called to action. It was always like they were investigating something scientific or something, and that's why they got called to action or
They're always
something.
like a defense squad, basically. They're like there to save the world, not to go out and fight. Fight. Yeah, yeah.
They're
I
not
could
the
see that.
Avengers. They don't have that job to go and basically, oh, somebody's causing trouble at the end of the world. We're gonna go, kick his ass and stop him from whatever he's doing. No, they don't do that. They're like they'll be out in Russia investigating, like all the nuclear type of effects to the land,
Right.
and Chernobyl or something like that, and then all of a sudden a big worm that's nuclear radiated is going to come and they have to kill it or something like that. That's their whole premise. Believe it or not, they're more like they have a lot more connections to challengers of the unknown than a lot of other type of superhero teams.
If y'all can see that, I don't think I can zoom in on my camera, but I got some of the early FF run sub 100 FFs. I got, I think 39. I got like 58. I got Avengers 25 there. I got some like mostly Doom covers, as you can see probably. But
what I suggest you should do, if you really want to learn more about those places, either you do one of those Marvel Universe digital online things to read them all, or get the trade paperbacks, or if you like to get them in individual copies and you don't want to blow the whole stack on getting that original rack, you could get there's a series of reprints that were made called Marvel's Greatest Copy.
I have a few of those actually.
The World's Greatest Comic or something like that.
Yeah, Marvel's Greatest Comics. Yeah.
And they have all the reprints of that stuff, so you can, and some of those actually hold value, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great way to be able to read them all. This is another good way to catch up with old Marvel. I picked this one up. I love these old handbooks.
Those are great because they have a lot of first appearances in it, and up until this year, they didn't recognize those as first appearances. And now, like CGC and grading companies are actually counting those as first appearance. Yep. Like technically, Spider-Man 2099, I think he shows up in like whatever issue or whatever. Technically, he showed up in Marvel Universe first.
The one thing I love about them, they have great covers. This is John Byrne's cover.
Yeah.
So the way they're set up, this is the deluxe edition. It goes from Abomination all the way to Batrock's Brigade. So you get to cover all the characters from A to B, basically.
A to Z.
No. In this book, it's only A to B.
Yeah, because there's like 20 of them. Yeah, I have maybe one or two of those. I love those books. So much information to learn from.
And for $1 to have this, it's a fun.
Oh yeah, those are dollar books all day. Because
because they weren't recognized until recently, so you can still find. I mean, I've been picking up every one I can find.
Mike, you're gonna appreciate this one. I think maybe I don't know.
I appreciate all of them, buddy.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
Oh yeah, Hellraiser, fuck yeah.
J2 right there. That's J2's book right there.
Number one. Look at this freaking bastard.
That's a Cinnabon.
I'll never pass these up. I love these Clive Barker Hellraisers. Really good stuff. And then the last book I got from there was this. This was a really interesting book.
That one I don't know. I've never seen that before.
Okay, so this is an interesting book. One, I am a sucker for comics that do this with titles.
You know what that homage is? I do. I grew up with that shit. That's School of Rock. That's
it looks like not School of Rock, right? On channel like ABC when they would do those
Channel 8 when we were growing up, and they were like, "Hey, big."
Yep, it kind of looks like that.
I think it's School. What was that name? Or Generation Rock or something like that. Damn.
No, something Rock. You're right. Something Rock. You do have this, Uzumaki. So do you know which one do you have? Do you have the Hellraiser or do you have the Legion of Superheroes? Because I'm going to tell you guys something that a lot of people don't realize about this comic. Now, you got to look carefully. One, like I said, I get these because the covers the way they are because I'm a sucker for like these like destroyed title covers. There's actually a weird section of collectors that buy comics just because the titles are damaged or like somehow manipulated. But if you look very carefully, do you read what that says? Can you let me make it bigger so you guys could see what
The
it
green
says.
label.
Yep. Let me make this bigger so you guys could see.
Masters of the Universe. This is the first appearance of He-Man.
Yep.
Yeah, in the DC universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what issue that was, but like what number.
So this is 293. Now, the thing is, it's not just a regular preview. It is a preview.
I want 283.
But-
Is Amiston that one? Is that Amiston's first one? Look in there and see if you see Amiston.
Amiston who?
Amista, that's her name. She's a DC. There, she pops up, and I can't remember. I always draw a blank, but she pops up in Legion of Superheroes, and it's one of the 200 issues. I thought it was.
I'm not sure if this is this one, but the one thing, like I said, I got it for the cover and the title break. But here's where it starts.
Right.
You have the Master of the Universe.
Amista, I have that.
Oh, okay, Amethyst. This is what I got. There's actually 16 full pages. It's a full story. So this is beyond a preview. This is a little bit more than preview. Now, Kevin Smith absolutely destroyed He-Man. And that's okay because this was the He-Man I liked back then. I'm not getting the Kevin Smith He-Man. I'm getting this He-Man. So I'm happy that he did it because he basically put all the He-Man comics down the toilet and they're not worth much right now, as much as they were at one point. And I got it for cheap. I got it for $1.
Wow.
You know, now
Great pickup.
I could assure you that
That's dope.
when some more He-Man hype picks up and when the second batch of those Kevin Smith shows hit Netflix again.
It already has.
They have already? The second batch?
And it was a success. The hate was on the beginning, and the hate came from people that did not watch the show.
I haven't saw the second half, so I don't know.
No, I like it. I've enjoyed all of it, and I am a Motu fan. I grew up with He-Man.
All right, guys. If you don't like spoilers, close your ears, or I don't care. They kill Oracle. They kill Oracle.
Huh?
They kill freaking Orko on He-Man.
Yeah, I mean they kill Moss Man the first. Like,
I don't care. You can't kill Orko. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. You could talk all you want about Tila and killing He-Man and whatever, but they killed freaking Orko.
Well, let me ask Mike real quick. Why do you think what benefits them from doing that, Mike?
I don't. But it's also like the main thing that people complain about comics, that death isn't an action in comics, like it has no consequence, right? Mm-hmm. So when somebody finally does do it, they hate on it, right? But I mean, for one, he hasn't seen the show, so I'm not trying to spoil everything. But I mean, Orko's a wizard, so I mean, it's not to say he's truly dead type thing, especially in He-Man's universe. I mean, He-Man literally dies in the first episode and then comes back. So, I mean, it's the same thing where death has no action. It's a character. It's not an action.
Yes, Mikey. Fuck the boss man.
I can say that there was things that he did in the show that I wasn't a fan of, but I mean, people want to. I mean, like it's not titled He-Man. I mean, that was first off. It's titled Man.
That's not the problem I had. They could have featured any character, and like whether it's Tila or somebody else, no problem because it was called Master of the Universe. I'll agree with you 100% on that. Here's the problem though. When they were advertising, doing all the previews, it was all He-Man on the previews.
Oh no, I agree. I agree 100%.
So false advertising. I thought I was going to watch a He-Man show.
But then even then, like even when they were asking him, he was still saying, "Oh no, it's He-Man." You know, and I agree with you. I believe it's kind of like false advertisement in that part. But like what we did get in the comics that we got, that I mean, I've liked them and stuff. I'm not gonna say I'm 100% like it's the best, you know. Like honestly, I don't even recommend He-Man to anybody because to watch it or read it right now because it's so divided among the fan base. But I mean, it's like the new movie Snake Eyes. I mean, it was like it went half and half. People either
I
hated it
haven't
because
seen it.
or they changed his origin, and I mean, they changed his whole character. You know, I mean, so. And I understand that, like, but I mean, you also got to remember you can't hate people for trying something new, kind of thing.
I,
You know, I
I,
mean,
I will never hold that against them of just trying to change things up, whatever the case is. But one, don't kill Orko. Come on.
I hated that. I hated that, and I think that's why they did that because he's such a beloved character, and I think they were going for like those moments, and there's only so many characters that you can get rid of that fan. I mean, because it's like if you kill off He-Man. I mean, how do you do that? The show is He-Man, right? So I mean, it's like you kill off Skeletor. You can't really do that because I mean,
Well, they
that
might
means
as well have killed him. They freaking emasculated him. But you know, it is what it is, man. Kill Man at Arms. I don't care if they kill him. Go ahead.
mean, you want to talk about that makes me mad is like, well, one of the things I can say he did excellent at was toy placement. Like, I mean, you watch those first 5 episodes and almost
Every single toy was there.
yeah, but okay, well, what really bugs me is that they actually did the PC route where they left out all the like, you know, like for instance, one of my favorite characters.
Hold on a second. Get lost in comics. I think you just jumped on. So,
But like them
I
excluding
warned
like,
everybody that there's going to be some spoilers.
but they exclude like people like Ram Man because how his name sounded, and I was like, to me, I felt like that was kind of a dumb thing to do.
What's
Like
wrong with that name?
because it sounds like ramming or
He
like
sounds
it
like
was
a porn star.
such-
That's why.
Okay.
like they left out him and they left out this character named Stratos. That's his name, but Stratos. All he did was like he had this like telescopic neck, and like it was just like his head, like he can extend his neck kind of like that, but that's all he was. But like
Wait a minute.
they kept him out of that because like it was like people thought it was a sexual
Oh,
reference.
man.
And like to me, that's where it gets offensive. Like honestly, watching the first 5 episodes, I loved it. I thought he did a really good job with every cliffhanger. I thought it got me to watch the next episode. I understand why people hated it, why they didn't like it, and stuff like that. But I have like a lower bar.
Well,
bar.
let me ask you, Mike. So, with anything in terms of new media, the cinematic universes of any brand, I feel like the main goal is not to appease the fans, or it's to attain new readership, it's to attain new eyes, it's to appease new audiences to get a new audience. So, what percentage of this series would you say was attributed to the OG fans versus attaining a new audience for today?
Actually, I want to say in this specific case, it was about 50-50, and that's hard to say with the other because honestly, I felt like he did a really good job with trying to get new people in that had no idea about He-Man, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people watched that and that was their introduction to He-Man. Because if you go back to the original He-Man cartoons and try and watch them, it's not like something you can just binge and have a good time. Like they were made to be run separately on Saturday mornings. So it was before binging was even a thing. But to the other fans, like, I mean, come on, he had every character that you can think of, minus like the two, and it wasn't like the two that I'm thinking of. They weren't like super huge characters. You ever heard of Ram Man or Stratos? You know what I'm saying? So,
Come on, Ram
like,
Man was awesome.
I love Ram Man. I love this toy because he had this little like you pounce him down and he did this like jumping thing. But no,
All you could do, you couldn't even move his legs or anything. All you could do is spring up.
But like, in my honest opinion, I thought he did a really good job because I thought it was going to be like the baseline characters, and I was really surprised that we got to see like Scareglow, and we got to see like I forget his name, but but we got to see like a very wide range of characters because if you really know He-Man, some of those characters weren't even from He-Man; they were from She-Ra. In She-Ra, you had to watch separately to get all those characters. So like to even bring the two, like, because technically they never ran together during the 80s. They were marketed separately. Like Sheena was for girls.
Well, they
He-Man.
introduced She-Ra through He-Man. Like there was a, if I remember right, it was like a 2 episode thing where they introduced She-Ra into the. They were cousins.
Yeah, and then right after that, that's when she got her own show,
Yep.
and then she stayed on that. But
I
like
like She-Ra too. I used to watch that too.
oh, I loved it too. But the difference was He-Man had his set of villains and stuff like that. She-Ra had her set of villains. It wasn't like a combined, you know, it wasn't like they had to use He-Man villains to sell She-Ra. It wasn't like that. So, I mean, in my honest opinion, he kind of did a really good job of like, I mean, I understand longtime fans were probably the ones that got pissed off the most, you know what I'm saying? Because they felt like it was a rub in the eye because it didn't fully focus on He-Man or it didn't. But honestly, in my opinion, I mean, I like the whole expanded lore. How many characters did we just touch on? So, I mean,
Did they really drop the last episodes or
the next 5 episodes are already on.
wait? How many are total? 10, right?
I think 10. And it's already been set.
there. All right,
Season.
so I'm gonna watch the rest of the 5 before I continue to bash Kevin Smith more.
I could tell you if you didn't like the first 5, you're probably not going to like the next.
Yeah,
but I'm not asking it, so I will put myself through the torture of watching the rest of the 5 just to give it open.
Has Mike changed any thoughts that you had previous about the first 5 episodes?
Zero.
Yeah, I could sell something, but I'm not trying to sell it. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like for one, I'm extremely biased because I am a huge Kevin Smith fan, and honestly, in my opinion,
Love
as
Clerks.
a fan, I mean that's
Love
I mean
Rats.
I've been watching him since Clerks, and I've seen every
Chasing
single one
Amy.
of his- Huh?
Love Chasing Amy.
I love all of them. Dogma. I mean, you want me to name off? I can name off every single Jersey
I
Girl.
absolutely hate He-Man.
Well, I mean,
And I thought he did a terrible job writing how you call it.
a lot of people don't know he directed Daredevil. I mean, I like Daredevil.
Did
but
he do Daredevil with Ben Affleck?
Yep.
Did he really do it?
Yep.
All right, that was a pretty bad movie too. That was pretty bad. You can't say it was good.
I like Daredevil. I went out of the theater. I went. You know, that's like, bro. People have like this weird misconception, right? Because like people shit on the first 3 Star Wars, right? But I don't know what movie theater they were in because when I left at episode 1, the whole fucking theater was cheering. So what movie? I mean, you know, like people have this weird. You know, it's like we tend to forget things like shortly after we see them.
I'm not against those at all.
Okay, like that movie Daredevil. What was so bad about it?
Okay, I'll tell you what was bad. I thought the way they introduced Elektra and the chemistry between them was terrible. That first of all, Elektra should not have been introduced immediately into the first movie of Daredevil. They kind of knew that it was going to die, I guess, and they introduced everybody in the same shot. I think Colin Farrell played a poor Bullseye.
You didn't like his Bullseye? I loved his Bullseye.
I didn't appreciate it that much, and I thought Duncan, as much as I like him as actor, I really like him as actor. He's not Kingpin.
Okay, now I'm not gonna say it was like the best movie ever, but what I said in the beginning is I liked it. So
they were shit on Ben Affleck though. I don't think he was as horrible as everybody says he was.
Honestly, like the couple of things that you touched on, like for one, I wasn't a big fan of like them changing like the switch on Kingpin, but I like Michael Clark Duncan and I think he killed it in that role. But because
read that comment, please. You see that? Kevin Smith directed that explains a lot.
Bro, he's not just directed. It's not. You know, he did the 4th Die Hard movie, and it's the one that sold out the most. Like like this movie Daredevil, you might hate on it and stuff, but if you've ever looked at how much it made,
that man's got good agents, man. He's in everything,
movie, especially back then.
I mean, you know, that's like, I mean, you talk about movies that flop. Look at how much they made. You know,
it wasn't a flop. Money wise, it wasn't flop.
No, both movies, and that's why they did the sequel with Electro.
But then again, Fantastic Four wasn't a flop either.
No,
But it wasn't a good movie.
I
I
mean
can't
for
think,
its time, for its
I
time,
can't
I
say it was a
loved
great movie, especially number two. Number two was crap for me.
it. Number two
Fantastic
is
Four
crap.
2.
I mean, I like the Silver Surfer part of it, but I didn't like the rest of it. I didn't like how he was introduced, but I liked the way he looked. I mean, for those times, that's like going back now. I mean, like Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. Now they're not my favorite movies, but when they came out, I loved them. Like, I mean, even Spider-Man 3 and how much people want to shit on the movie, it still had good parts to it. I mean, shit, if I could take out the bad parts that I liked and really it was like the weird angsty Tobey Maguire, that I don't know why they did that with the movie, but honestly, if you take that part out of it, the whole rest of the movie was good. Like Sandman.
I thought that was hilarious actually, because think of it like this: Peter Parker was always supposed to be a nerd.
Mm-hmm. He
So
is. He's one.
so obviously you got a super nerd that got a little bit of swagger to him, and he doesn't know how to deal with it. So I kind of got a kick out of that,
Yeah, those were my first Spider-Man movies, and that forever will be my Spider-Man movies. Like I haven't even watched all the rest of them. I'll watch them every now and then, like kind of interspersed. But yeah, I just grew up on that first run of Spider-Man movies. I loved them.
I love.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was gonna say I've loved all the Spider-Man movies to date, but there's things that I don't like and there's things that I do like. I mean, and that's the way I view all movies. I mean, you can't like for instance, talking about Spider-Man. It's not the version of Spider-Man I fell in love with. The version of Spider-Man I fell in love with is in the fucking comics. So how can that ever equal what I fell in love with on the screen? So any version I get of that to me is gold because we only have it in comic form. When people shit on this, like, oh, it was a bad try. For one, it's their vision. It's their, I mean, how hard is that? Like, could you honestly, like without visual process or anything like that, explain to somebody that doesn't know about the character like Superman or something like that, like to explain his powers or who he is in the world or what he is without any visual representation? It's weird as shit. So like to have someone take a comic and try and replicate it on the big screen and get what we got, bro. Spider-Man 1 was epic. Like seeing him swing.
I thought it was excellent.
But that's like Fantastic Four. It's not like that's not the version of Fantastic Four. Like the version of Fantastic Four I want to see. The first time it was good. I left the theater. I mean, I can name off some bad ones, and none of these we've mentioned are in my bad column.
I think the next Fantastic Four movie, the one that's supposed to come out in Phase 4 of the MCU, finally under Marvel, I feel like that one has super high expectations after just what they've been doing for the last 5 or so years with the MCU.
It's funny because when they did the last Fantastic Four reboot, I was so excited for that, and I did not like the change to Human Torch. I felt like that was a weird way to go with the Ultimate Universe. I didn't mind it, but not only that, but it looked gritty and dark, and I like that. And I wanted to see that. I didn't want this and I get that there's this whole like fan base of Fantastic Four that like that family friendly like looking, but I mean what they deal with is not family friendly. Science has never been a family friendly type of world to begin with. So I mean, like, I want it to be dark and like scientific and interesting and intelligent. I want the trailer for this motherfucker to be like the craziest, like space shit you
but
ever
isn't
seen.
that the kind of the direction that that you think they've been going with, like the Eternals trailers and even just like certain Iron Man movies and kind of like even like Avengers movies? They kind of go darker nowadays.
Yes,
I think
because go back to the origins of the MCU, as far as in films that they gave us, it was a lot friendlier feel. They still had dark moments, but they still had a lot of friendly, like, fun moments, and don't count Deadpool in that because those movies are all the way friendly. But okay,
There's
so
actually a few comments I want to get to. I don't want to get too far ahead, and then I'll let you continue. First off, Kirsten Dunst is hot. I will agree and I will disagree. There's times where she is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. There's other times where she looks like a bobblehead doll. I don't know why. That's just me. But that's
she's playing Jane. She's not like super hot or she's not ugly.
That's the point. She's not she's not Mary Jane to me. Like there's some times where they put her up and she looks really real hot, but that's about it. Like you have to get her at the right angle. Usually she looks like a bobblehead to me. And then here's something that this is gonna become a little controversial right now. Blade was probably the first movie that kicked off the current generation of Marvel movies, as we know, as far as good quality Marvel movies. However, what people don't know, the first Marvel movie was actually Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
When you go and watch the entire movie and you look all the way at the end of the credits, you see the little Spider-Man sitting right over Marvel Comics.
Mm-hmm.
It was they were part of the production on that. People forget that. And then after that was a really screwy movie. And if you wanna sit with a bong and watch a really weird movie, go and watch Howard the Duck.
Yep. Guess who directed that movie? I bet y'all don't know.
Kevin Smith.
No.
I'm just joking because we're here.
He's another controversial director.
George Lucas.
Yeah.
I bet you most fans that shit on that movie don't know that either. They'll be like, he didn't direct that movie. Go look at the production.
The guy freaking put duck boobs in that movie. It's probably one of the weirdest, obscure movies that you could ever think of. And just one little note on those Spider-Man movies. I think that original trilogy was excellent. The two major critiques I have with those movies, I could even deal with the weird soul dancing Peter Parker. The two critiques I have is I absolutely hated how Green Goblin looked.
Really?
I thought that they did a poor job as far as with that whole shiny type of thing that they did with him.
I loved it.
I think it matched Spidey's shiny suit.
It was too robotic for me. Green Goblin's not supposed to be a robot.
No, but
it's not supposed to be an Iron Man suit.
To me, I'll tell you
that is fair. Yeah.
To me, I'll tell you why it worked for me, because I grew up with the original Green Goblin, and getting that version of the Green Goblin, why it worked is it just seemed more aerodynamic. I mean, the dude's flying around on a glider going like 200 miles an hour. How the fuck is he in a goblin costume surviving that? No, I mean, he would have to have
because he's a freaking mutant. He's mutated. That's why.
Yeah, but you ever rode a motorcycle, fool? A motorcycle going like 40 miles an hour. You got like bugs that pelt you in the face. It feels like rocks, fool. So he's going.
When you got a face like Green Goblin, do you think that really matters? How many rocks hit your face?
He wouldn't be able to fight Spider-Man. He'd be like, "Fuck!"
And even that, I could somewhat live with. The thing that bothered me even more from that trilogy is what they did with Venom. The guy they used for Eddie Brock sucked.
That 70s show, yeah.
Yeah, how do you pick the 70s show guy?
Toby Grace. Toby Grace.
No, Topher Grace.
Topher Grace, sorry.
I don't mind about the casting. My problem with the casting, and I agree, he wasn't as big as I want. Eddie Brock's a big, tall dude, okay? So, my problem with the casting, and my problem with Venom, he was only in the movie for 10 minutes. How are you going to do a 2-hour and 45-minute movie and have one of Spider-Man's biggest villains ever, and he only gets 10 minutes of the movie? Why even put him in the movie?
It's because he used that crappy actor to be Venom. That's why. He should have stuck to the 70s show. 70s show is great.
10 minutes? Who's the Oscar-worthy, performance that gets out of 10 minutes? I mean, come on. No actor that I know.
Was Rhino in that trilogy, or was it in the Amazing Spider-Man one with Garfield?
With what?
Rhino. That wasn't in that trilogy. That was in the Amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah,
that's what pissed me off with that series is they set up the Sinister Six, which they're finally getting to now. Yes, yay, finally. But why set it up back then if you weren't going to do it? And come on. That's what pisses me off about the Andrew Garfield series.
Well, we do have to consider that isn't Marvel technically.
Oh, I know.
So that I'm just saying to put that into the equation of why didn't they set? Because maybe they're not as calculated as the current Marvel is with their whole. They plan out things for 10 years now with all their phases, and
he was way too cool. He was way too cool to be a Peter Parker. That was my biggest problem with that.
Andrew Garfield?
Yeah. Don't you he had a swagger on him. He
I have
Peter
heard
Parker
that. I
is
have heard
supposed to be a
that. Yeah.
nerd.
My
You know?
thing with the first Spider-Man was I didn't like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I liked him as Peter Parker. My
Yeah.
thing with Andrew Garfield is I liked him as Spider-Man, but I didn't like him as Peter Parker. Like they if they would have mixed the roles and Tobey Maguire would have played Peter Parker and Andrew Garfield would have played Spider-Man, I would have loved that because they, in my opinion, they both were lacking what the other one was missing. Because in Amazing Spider-Man, we got to see the quirky, like funny, and that's his defense. That's what Spider-Man is known for, is he uses his comedy, in defense. And in the first Spider-Man's, you only got like one or two one-liners in like the whole three movies. Like that total part of Spider-Man was just missing. But then, like you said, the nerdy side, like in Amazing Spider-Man or whatever, it wasn't a nerd anymore. It was like this cool kid that was Spider-Man. It wasn't like, and on top of that, there were like a couple parts where they tried to make him intelligent, but really, I mean, he never really came off as like this super nerdy, intelligent kid, and that I felt like if they would have mixed the two, but that's why I kind of like Holland better, because he kind of, in my opinion, he fits both. Like I like his Peter Parker, and I like the only thing I don't like about Tom Holland is he's too handsome, kind of thing. I don't like. I mean, he it's that popularity thing. I don't see him being that nerd at school. Like, could you see Tom Holland being picked on at high school for anything? Like the way he looks in Spider-Man? Like, no, he looks like he'd be like voted most popular or something.
I think I read today.
He's like a little run. Like, look at what Norton Rad wrote. Tom Holland's too small. He's like a Hobbit Spider-Man. Yeah,
Spider-Man was a little guy. He was like, I think
but he's like a little guy. I could see him get his ass kicked by like a Flash Thompson or something like that.
Well, Spider-Man, Peter Parker was actually Steve Ditko.
Yeah,
they say he actually drew him after himself, and if you look at the pictures, it actually does look eerily similar.
Yeah, so he's a little bitty guy. He was a little skinny.
He's a spider, like little. He's gonna go there and like.
That's why I like Venom. Venom was supposed to be the bigger version of Spider-Man.
Tom Holland is hot. I'll put that up for you. Get lost in. Let me show you the other books before it gets too late.
Yeah, I actually came on to show some books too. That's kind of why I came on, but then we just went to
books real fast. I got a small lot to show you guys. I got these for $1, complete. All three of these books: Power Man and Iron Fist, number 100. Great cover, by the way.
Awesome cover.
And you got a little bit of Mephisto action happening in the background.
Oh, yeah.
But I love Centennial covers, like number 100, 200, 300. I love those covers. And like I said, I'm a cover guy. 33 cents, I'm buying it all day, every day. This is a comic they'll make Gary B, for anybody that knows him.
Mm-hmm.
All hot and heavy. Conan the Barbarian, movie special number 1. Again, 33 cents. And then this is a mangled copy of Submariner, number 55, which this is going to be one of my, cleaning restoration projects. And plus I have a spot filler for this run. So you can't go wrong with these at 33 cents a piece. Then here, you should appreciate this for you.
Yeah, I definitely do. Yeah.
That's
so
my
I
jam.
picked this up for my son.
Hey, did Dr. Doom is your guy? That's my guy. Batman Who Laughs.
You remember my drawing, Mike? I drew him that one day.
Yeah, I know that was the first time I think I saw your art. I was like, "What?" And I was like,
So
yeah, I pulled that
my
out.
son is nuts with the Fortnite. He actually's been reading those Fortnite, so he likes them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that he's not just using for the codes and reading them.
Mm-hmm.
So
they were
actually for him.
I was surprised they were actually good reads. I didn't think they were going to be good reads.
Yeah, and Riley Brown killed the art. I just love his. It's kind of cartoony, but it's super detailed at the same time, and it's just really accurate.
I haven't read any of them because every time I brought them home and my kid grabbed a hold of them, they disappeared. So maybe one day I'll get into.
I have every single first print of issue 1 through 6, so that's 18 issues.
Yeah, I have
they had 3 different each.
Wait, every single first print?
Yeah, because they did second prints and third prints of like the first 4 issues. So I didn't grab those.
There was 2 covers of the first.
Well,
print?
I mean, like actual printings, because they had variants. They had 3 variants for every issue, 1 through
that's
6, but they
right.
also had
That's
second
right.
printings.
See,
The
I wasn't
first
going to do that. I was just picking up one copy of each for my kid to have the codes, and he could knock himself out after that.
Yeah, that one has a code too, if you didn't know.
Yeah, that's the reason I got it.
Yeah.
What's the code unlock?
The
So
Batman Who Laughs.
he
Is
could
it?
knock himself out.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was coming out, but my LCS knew that I was picking these up for my kid, and he said, I know you guys want it, and I'm happy he did it because they sold out.
Well, it's going to be valuable because y'all might not know this, but we've been waiting for him to reappear. He died. Like technically he did not die, but they have not brought him back into major continuity, and he is responsible for the last event in DC, and he made everything continuity. So like you might think that's like a side story. It's not. It's just like a different Earth or whatever it's explained.
Like an Elseworld kind of thing.
So he made an appearance in issue 6, the final issue of Batman Fortnite.
Okay,
Batman
so
Who Laughs. And then that's why it goes straight to this one with Foundation, and they go back to Gotham instead of the Fortnite world.
That's why that's important, is because they're bringing him back continuity. And I'll tell you what, he's the only villain in DC to ever win. He's the first and only.
Hey, Leo, have you been using the codes on these?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Oh, yeah. Have you, Mike?
Yeah, I used all the codes, but I had DC Universe or online or whatever, so I read them online first before I even got the comics, and then.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you can get them from the online too.
Yeah, they're DC subscription.
I was just curious. If you use the code from this, it's worthless after the comic.
Well, what do you mean about worthless?
You basically nobody wants it anymore because there's no. Do you peel it off? Like, how does it work? The code?
It's a digital code. So you have to type it in. It's like a 20-character thing, and then once you use it once, it's no longer.
But do you peel something off or something?
No, it's on the last page. Yeah, so you don't have to tear off anything or
great,
cut it.
Perfect. Perfect. So
I mean,
my kids' Fortnites are going to be worth $1 billion each now.
$2 billion.
Well, I'll tell you what, just real quick. So issue 1 was severely underordered due to the amount of demand that was unforeseen and the way they solicited. Usually solicitations have 3 months time. They cut it down to 2 weeks for FOC. So it was a nasty mangled mess of release date. If you ask any comic shop owners, they got literally 1 million calls a day that first week it came out for all the new readers like me who have been playing games for the last 4 years but haven't ever read a comic. So they got thousands and hundreds of thousands of calls from parents, kids, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 26-year-olds like me for looking for this comic, and it was instantly sold out. So issue 1 at first was selling for anywhere from $30 to $50 to up to $100. Now it's cooled down majorly, especially with the second and third printings. But eventually it's going to take a long time for them to get, I think, actually monetarily valuable, because the first issue is the only one that was actually underprinted. They saw the demand of issue 1 and they severely over-ordered the next 5 or 6 issues after that.
That's
to the
true.
point to where they're sitting on shelves in many shops because
but even
comic
for
fans
number one,
aren't
though,
necessarily Fortnite fans.
But even for number 1, though, I'm still seeing later printings in the shops. And there's also a trade paperback that they made, which has them all in there. That's in the shops right now. And like you mentioned, you can go on DC Universe and get all the codes too. So they kind of like deflated the need or the demand for that first issue.
It was
like
like
all those alternative versions of how to get it.
The secret to the comics is Donald Mustard, the CEO. He's this creative director of Epic Games. That's one of the biggest gaming companies, and he's the head of Fortnite creative direction. This was actually a passion project of his. He's always been a comic fan. He's always been a Batman fan and Marvel and DC and Marvel fan. So this was actually a passion project for him to get out the game lore. It goes beyond just selling codes. The whole issues of 1 through 6 told the story of Fortnite unlike any in-game scenario has ever done before. So that was what was cool about the comics.
Let's just pause for a second and give a great applause for this lovely, white, luscious head of hair here.
But another thing, it is
Thank
the
you for
first,
jumping in, Jimmy. I love that profile pic.
right?
Look at that. Look at that. This guy's like the most interesting man in the world. Look at that hairdo. I love it.
Another thing is first appearance of Fortnite. 20 years from now, we're talking about. Look at all the stuff you just picked up. Conan the Barbarian. Why'd you pick that up? Nostalgia factor, right? Guess what? 20 years or something like that.
Mhm.
Nostalgia factor.
Well, I picked up the Conan for a couple of reasons. One, I am a closet Conan fan. You know, like I'm not like it's not my priority. I don't go pick up everything Conan like Gary B does. But I do appreciate it and I do like it. And I also collect comic adaptations of movies.
Mhm.
So it's part of my weird like little sub collecting. So like if I see Raiders of the Lost Ark, I pick those up every day, all day. Conan of the Barbarian, this is my only copy right now. It's a new look. Hey, hold on a second. I forgot to look. I forgot to do that. Look at that. Look at that, FOMO people.
The newsy baby.
It's a newsstand. So I was able to get that. If I find a nicer copy down the line, I'll probably get that and replace this one. But that's my weird kind of collecting that I do. But the nostalgia factor plays a really big deal. And that's the reason I actually picked up this book. Where is it?
Like the Hellraiser and
The Hellraiser. And this book right here that has the insert for the Masters of the Universe.
you think about it.
That's my nostalgia.
In 20 years, the nostalgia is going to be like Apex and Fortnite and Minecraft and all the stuff that's popular right now. In 20 years, it's going to be like a bunch of 40-year-olds that, whatever pop culture is famous at that time. Could be video games or movie. I mean, look how long it takes to get movies made. I mean, I've been waiting 40 years for a new Dune. Like,
Well,
that's actually a great Capullo cover as well.
yeah, of the Fortnite.
Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. And Xbox, you can buy the code for $15 and get the skin, and don't have to waste the time with the book. Oh, there you go. You could just buy the skin straight out. But you know what? How much does it cost to get DCU? $9.99, $7.99 a month?
It's like $7 or $8.99.
Yeah, that's half the price than buying it on Xbox. So you might as well just get a DCU for a month. Pay half the price.
The book's only $5. Go get the books. Way cheaper than $15.
$5 each. But if you get DCU, you can read all of them and get all the codes.
Correct.
That's the point I'm trying to say. William, I get your point for the $15.
He's talking about you can actually like buy the skin in the item shop, and it costs like $15 of real money that you have to convert to V-Bucks. They call them V-Bucks. To buy the skin.
I'm trying to save everybody money and find the most cost-efficient way to wear to get the new underwear for your Fortnite people.
It's called, you spend $8 and you buy the special edition of the one that came out with all 6 issues in it, or you buy the trade for 10, and they both have the complete code in it that gives you all the skins and the final unlockable Batman armor. Like, they came out with all 3, and they did that because that first issue, like he was talking about, that's where the money was that first issue, and it's because it was such a low print. They didn't think it was going to be as popular as it did. So like after that, they wanted to honor fans, and they gave you other ways of getting that code. If you couldn't get the comic, because we know how often comics get pricey real quick. Like, look at Something Is Killing the Children, or comics get pricey quick. And if you just wanted the code and not really the comic, they gave you different options, which I kind of like.
Did you guys realize that there's no DCU in UK?
Mm-mm.
That's sad.
I didn't realize that. I thought UK out of all places would have had it. That's surprising.
I didn't know that.
That's surprising. Well, all right. Hopefully they get it sooner than later. So I guess he's got the alternative, either getting it through the trade paperback for cheaper, or getting it through Xbox Z-Bucks or V-Bucks or whatever the hell that is. Let me just run quickly the last thing so that free for Leo can show his stuff. So this I got for my kid too. He's a big Deadpool guy. This was a set of all Deadpool kills the Marvel universe again. 1 through 5. Got it for $10. This, by the way, Leo, is a great way to read stories, have the full issues. When you go into your LCS, a lot of times what they do is they're bundled up little mini series or little runs together.
Mm-hmm.
Great way to get introduced with them, and at the same time get some more filler for your collection.
Yeah, and I believe today or yesterday they just announced Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, a movie or a TV series.
A TV series, and I think it's going to be animated. I think I'm not sure.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So perfect timing on this. My son's gonna have another $1 billion set.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I got from there was another set for $10, and this is the Sentry, number 1 through 5. Anybody familiar with that channel? Comics, not Comixology. Comics Explained. You ever watch that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That guy's great. He's great. He like explains things. That's what he does. He explains. He explains about comics, and he's very thorough. And I saw this one video that he did on the Sentry. I'm like, hold on, that's actually pretty interesting. I thought it was some stupid Superman type of clone thing, which it is to some extent.
It kind of is, but they kind of like overamped him with power. My problem with the Sentry is his explaining his power set is so ridiculous because I don't even think the writers do. I don't even think the writers quite understand a lot of his powers anymore.
Well, that's a reason why I picked up this mini series in order to understand it a little bit better. Up until now, my only experience with the Sentry was reading what happened in World War Hulk. Mm-hmm. Where he like fought, where they like were basically begging the Sentry to come and help them up until the last issue, and then all hell broke out at the end where they're both fighting because he's the only guy that could match up with World War Hulk at that point, and even that didn't even go well because nobody could beat the Hulk because Hulk smashes. But that being said, Leo, let's see what you got. Show off your stuff. Do your show and tell.
Just real quick, Siege, what if 200? What if issue 200 has Sentry in it? Did you see this post, Mike?
Mm-mm.
So, cover and art by Dave Wilkins. Sorry, I'm having to do this backwards. So, cover and art and interiors by Dave Wilkins. You have a inner splash by Lucio Perillo. Ooh. A double page splash by Lucio Perillo. So it's so hard to see with the lighting, but let me go to Sentry. So look at Sentry.
Mm-hmm.
So Sentry goes completely AWOL here. He goes nutso, and he like turns to like a death form, and he actually takes out Doom here as well. Takes out Doom, takes out Norman Osborn as the I think Iron Patriot. And he completely like utterly consumes the whole universe in that What If episode 200. What If 200?
He's supposed to be a real badass.
Because his power, he's actually, I think, in like, if I could be, don't quote me, but his biggest bad guy is himself. I think at one point he becomes like another version, and it's actually
something
like
called the Void.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like you're gonna understand some of his base power sets, but it's well known within the writers that they start trying to get like super complicated with what he could do and this and that, where there is no explanation. It's just he can do this and that, and that's it. You're just gonna have to like live with, because he reminds me of a lot of Dr. Manhattan. What the ability of what he can do is endless. Like, I mean, when you talk about someone that can that has reality control, time control, like, I mean, it gets really weird and wonky what they can do. But I mean, we're talking about writers,
Does anybody want to tackle this comment that we have up from Uzumaki? I'm not quite sure what he means.
Yeah, he's talking about Fortnite. He was talking about Fortnite. So in 40 years, when they shut down the game servers, like they always do with games, they're actually shutting down Halo 3 servers from Xbox 360, I believe, like this year or next year. So in 40 years, when Fortnite servers shut down, which I would argue would actually be a good time frame because this game is everlasting. It has lasted, exceeded expectations for the last 4 years. They just did their 4-year anniversary. So yeah, in 40 years, when the servers shut down, the large audience the game has, one that hasn't been messed with will be wanted. He's saying the condition: don't take out the code. Maybe don't even take out the poly bags. Stuff like that will keep the value.
They have an expiration date. They have an like that.
The
that's
codes
enough.
have a 5-year. The codes do have a 5-year expiration date. Yes.
Maybe. No, but I guess. But thank you for explaining that to me. Because sorry, Uzumaki, I'm a boomer and I don't really know this stuff, so I get to learn all this Fortnite stuff from my kid.
Well, that's like
he
YouTube.
turns into the void. Yeah, so I was right about that. Thanks, Norin. How
It's
you
like-
doing, Manny?
It's like YouTube. You can't imagine that YouTube is going to be up on I mean, like it's going to be online forever. I mean, who uses MySpace or who uses AOL or I mean, come on, we progress. So, I mean, then that's going to happen, but the fan base, it's still going to be there, kind of thing. People that fell in love with it, like, I mean, it sounds like Free Energy has enjoyed Fortnite kind of thing. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure in 20 years, guess what? He's still going to remember Fortnite.
All right, so before Fortnite did with DC, the whole Batman series, the year before in 2020, they had a Marvel cover and story. So they were with the Marvel first. They actually came out with like 14 Marvel covers across all titles: Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk, Thor. So I went and got all those as well, and they only have like a 1-page story.
Look at that. He has the power of 10 million suns, but it's just souped up super soldier serum. So super cap is all even.
Everybody give Leo a oh yeah for explaining Fortnite to idiots.
Oh yeah.
It's literally one thing I'm good for in comics because
Well, you know what? We gotta all have our strong points, and you are definitely giving me a lot of pointers on Fortnite. So show me your stuff. It's time for show and tell.
So yeah, we'll go quick since we kind of went long today. But so this whole little
that's why
this whole little show and tell is from one artist called Jim Mafood. Have either of you guys heard of Jim Mafood?
Nope.
No.
So he's a really unique kind of modern day artist. His style would be compared with almost like a graffiti artist style, more kind of abstract, more kind of messy. So this was my first issue of Girl Scouts. His series called, his main claim to fame is a Girl Scouts comic. This series came out in 2017. This is the trade paperback that collects issues 1 through 6. Girl Scouts is kind of like what it sounds. It's about 3 girls that instead of selling Girl Scout cookies, well, they sell drugs. But they also end up getting into a lot of trouble and with drug dealers, mobsters. So you actually have really unique, really I can open any page and any panel, and you get some type of like Bill Sienkiewicz / just
Yeah, it looks dope.
That actually talks to me when I look at that.
Jin Jun Ji. He loves drawing very proportionate women, but it's all fantastically drawn, and
it's cool.
You have a lot of freedom within the pages and the panels.
That's really a hot looking book. I like that. And it's not Girl Scouts. Like when you first said it, I didn't take a good look at it. It's girl, like girl.
So they named that. He had to rechange the name. It was originally called Girl Scouts, GIRL. But the actual girl, he got so big and infamous that the Girl Scouts of America actually put out a cease and desist. So he actually had to change his name.
That's actually better. I like the girl.
So this is my first exposure into Jim Mafood. He did an interview on Cartoonist Kayfabe channel with Ed Pisker and Jim Rugg. They run that YouTube channel. Are you guys familiar with the Cartoonist Kayfabe YouTube channel? That is my favorite YouTube channel ever because they go into the back history of silver, bronze, modern, and they detail every single artist, and they're cartoonists, they're drawers. They do the Red Room, Mike, the guy that does the Red Room, Ed Pisker.
No, Ed Pisker.
Yeah,
Do
he's
you
great.
know? So he does that YouTube channel, and that's how I found out about Gemma Food. I went to go pick this up from my LCS. This is all they had, but check this out, guys. So you have a collected mini trade here, and this is classic 40 ounce, and this is actually put out by Image in like the year 2003, I believe. So
You want to
check
get
this.
something funny? I think
Yeah.
I remember that hitting the racks back then.
That's
I
awesome.
never.
This is the first issue of Girl Scouts with the correct spelling, GIRL. So
Yeah.
this collected issue actually collects Girl Scouts issues 1 and 2, and you can see the art progression. That's my favorite part about Jim's stuff right now that I'm figuring out, is that he had a huge progression and just change of art styles. You can open any page. Look at these pinups. Like,
I don't think my LCS carries that. I gotta ask them.
this is
Either that
old.
or
That's what I'm
I gotta
saying.
hit-
So you'd
I
have
gotta
to
hit
get
the eBay.
that. I hit my comic shop, and that's where I got.
All right, but even better, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather
Character
do my
designs.
comic shop so I don't have to freaking get into a bidding war with somebody over freaking Girl Scouts.
I like all of it. It all looks good.
So that was the 1 and 2. This is the next collected issue, the 40 ounce collected, also by Image. This is like 2 years later, so this will have. It says contents. So this has Zombie Kid. It originally appears in Big Crap Scare #1. So Fireman Press. A lot of his books were limited to 300 print runs. He's a Californian artist, or actually I should take that back. I forgot where he's from, but he might be from New York or something. But yeah, originally appeared in Dark Horse. So a lot of his stuff was super limited, basically fanzine style. And which is just, they're ghosts, they're modern day ghosts. You can't find his stuff, but luckily Image was lucky enough and good enough to find this guy and put him on. So this is pretty cartoony, but it's, like I said, you can really see
The progression.
his progression, his style changes. So this is Girl Scouts.
You
This
know,
is-
Leo, I
yeah.
have to agree with Uzumaki. That is awesome. And I want to thank you as well, actually, for introducing those books to me. Because honestly, I had no even inkling that they existed.
Yeah,
never-
there's only one person that I personally know that knew about Jimma Food before me, and that was Pretty Nerdy on Instagram and YouTube. If you know who that is, it's a girl, it's a woman named Pretty Nerdy, and she actually saw a video of hers a while back that she has a YouTube video with an intro done by the artist Jimma Food, and she has an insane collection. She has all this and way more. So I'm just trying to catch up. So
And it's all throwback. That really, like, the stuff that we're looking at right now feels like a real, like, chime in on this, Mike, if you agree with me. Doesn't it feel a little bit of a throwback of that late 80s indie stuff?
Well, he said it was like 2002, so I mean, it's
Girl Scouts 1 was like done in 98, 99.
yeah. So I mean, already it's a throwback. I mean, you're talking
And this
about
is this. So this was the okay. So this is Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts 1 had issue 1 and 2. He did another series called Girl Scouts. This was the first Girl Scouts full series, 4 issues with the R lettering.
Mhm.
This
What's
is
the
the
premise?
This is the second volume by Image. The first volume was done by another publishing company, which I'm blanking on. So I'll just read the premise real quick. Cute, independent, full altitude. Gwen, Daphne, and Rita are 3 girls trying to do what they can to survive in Freak City. From expressing themselves through graffiti or cutting loose on the dance floor, the party is raging. That is until the Brotherhood of the Cracker catches wind of the good times and decides to crack down. The Brotherhood is an evil alliance that controls the world's power structure from behind the scenes. They don't like the girls' subversive nature. Before they know it, the girls are being hunted by assassins. They're on run for their lives. From the comic shop and nightclubs to homogenized suburbs, ivory towers of corporate greed, Girl Scouts is an action-packed hip-hop comics adventure that attacks society with both fists and never stops punching.
So that has nothing to do with monsters.
No, what are you talking about?
I
Okay,
don't know. I just got the impression because the GRR, there was some kind of monster or demon related kind of thing, or beast kind of related thing.
Leo, have you read it all the way through?
No, I've only read. Like I said, this is the first one I got. So these just came in the mail. That's kind of why I wanted to show you guys. And this
That
is like not
cover is killer, by the way.
this one.
How,
That one you're holding up right now.
Yeah, this is the 2017. You're in luck, both of you guys, because he's doing a new series that's coming out next month.
what's the new series?
It's called Stone Ghost, Girl Scouts Stone Ghost. So it's
Oh,
another Girl Scouts publication.
I've seen that then.
So that's on Image, I believe.
Out of all that, how much have you read? And like, would you say it's a good read, a recommended read? Because the art alone, that's recommendable. But what about the story and everything? Because honestly, the premise doesn't sound too interesting.
It kind of
Yeah,
turned me off too because I was expecting
Yeah.
like monsters, but maybe because
No, that's
weird.
completely fair. So that would be its biggest critique is the premise. It's simple enough. I think with the art direction alone, I just keep opening the same pages. So I think with the art direction alone, it's
Sounds
enough to carry the story, and it's more just it's kind of like a more just an art expression than a story. As you can tell, it's all visual. This, at least the new stuff. The old stuff might be more narrative. I saw a lot more words on the old stuff, but there's a lot more action and movement in these. So these are kind of just beat 'em ups. So yeah, if you take it more as art reads, I think that will definitely favor it. It's just fun, wacky entertainment. It's really nothing to be amazed at story wise,
I mean,
but
like, I read books that are fun, and that's fun too. Would you say it's like a fun read? I mean, have you what you have read from it? Have you enjoyed it enough to go on to the next part of it?
oh yeah, 100%.
So
Yeah,
you think the story matches up at least with the visual because the visual is stunning. It really
Yeah.
is. I mean, just that first issue that you popped up originally, it got me. Like that. That's the
yeah.
kind of thing I would pick up just because of the way it looks.
I
And
think now that you guys have caught on to the premise. I think if you go in expecting more of, like I said, an art read more than it's not a profound philosophical, endeavor that you're going to get into, but it's modern, it's refreshing. It reminds me a lot of Cherry Blackbird, Mike. So it's very refreshing, kind of modern slang and lingo, and kind of that edgy kind of modern teenage, humor, teenage angst and stuff, kind of like that. Yeah, so I would say you just keep that in mind if you do end up checking these out. It's more just a fun kind of slapstick kind of action. At least this one. Like I said, I have not read this one. This one looks to be, well, okay, well that's a pinup, but
Hey.
so this one looks to be a lot more dialogue infused and a lot less action packed. This first series.
You're gonna have to let me know. I'm curious, but I kind of want to read it now. Glenn, you still watching? Chime in the chat, Glenn, if you're still watching.
And this is the last one. So this is the one I'm gonna have a lot of fun with.
Visual fun. I mean, that's one thing I can say. I mean,
so
the art
it's called Visual Funk Psychedelic Adult Coloring Book. So I just actually bought like 24 alcohol markers from Hobby Lobby, and check this out. This is over 100 pages of art.
Coloring.
Yeah, look at that.
I like that.
He's worked on a Tank Girl series.
what's the quality of the pages?
Great, thick.
So it will take to the ink if you ink them.
I'm gonna put a backing under them, when I'm working on them, so they don't bleed through.
But it's front and back. That's why I was asking if it'll bleed through from one side to the other.
Oh yeah, that is true to think about. Yeah, so I might have to use like color pencils. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right.
Or you could
So
do
you-
one, just do one side and the
yeah,
other.
I might have to. Yeah, I might have to pick and choose there. Use different mediums. But no, I
Really
think
easy.
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Scouts. I'm gonna have to remember this. I want to read the first one and see.
Just a quick side note, Mike. Do you still have any of those raffle spots left on your IG?
I do. I
You
do.
do?
Mm-hmm.
How many? You gotta have few left, right?
I have nine spots left.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anybody listening now or on the replay, you better go on IG and check out that stray dog raffle that Mike is doing because um, you got a chance for $15 to get into entire first print run of stray dogs, and that's only going to heat up more and more the way it goes right now. You know, you could find the fifth prints left and right, but you're not going to find that first print run. I don't know. Did you see that, Leo?
Yeah, I did. I actually have the Stray Dogs run, but I only have like the last prints. The whatever the last prints they did, like the fourth and fifth printings. Those are
Yeah,
the
me
ones
too.
I have. Yeah.
Me too. So I'm like, for $15, why not take a flyer and get that entire run? Because I'm not paying freaking $150, $200 for that. Number one, I refuse.
That's why I kind of set it up like that, because when I looked at how much the first one was going, and I feel weird selling it for that much, so I figured a raffle, and for $15 you get a chance to get all the first prints with just, I was like, okay, I don't.
I figured I'd bring that up. So continue. Tell us more about your coloring book, Leo.
Oh, I mean that's basically it. That was the last page, or that was the last book. So yeah, no, like you guys keep saying, but going back to the story, what attracted me for Jim of Food first and foremost is the art. I think he has an art style unlike most, unlike definitely anything from the big two putting out. You'll see indie and people out of Image have kind of stuff like this, but I just coming from like a more street artist style, like I used to do dabble in graffiti here and there, and it just really kind of speaks to me. I just really love this modern art style. Here.
I know you know about Red Room, but Ed Pisker, have you checked out his other stuff like Hip Hop Family Tree?
Yeah, I have. His issues of that, like the single issues, are basically impossible to find for me, at least. I have found 2 issues of his in the back bins that I have, and then I ordered like another one, the MF Doom one that has the MF Doom back cover.
Yeah.
I know he has the collected issues, and my LCS does have one, and it's like they're usually like over $100 for the giant size like volumes. But
Leo,
he does say that he's going to reprint those.
Yeah, he is.
Leo, what are you enjoying more? You enjoy more of the mainstream Marvel DC stuff or the indie stuff?
Man. Well, half of my collection is Doctor Doom. So that is in itself half of my collection based off of covers, but I do read all the stories. So I am a reader. I'm not just a collector. I know a lot of people are just collectors or just readers. The other half would be the indies, like stuff out of Image, stuff out of maybe other like Scouts, a Scout publication.
Can't we call Image an indie anymore?
In my opinion, no. But
I don't think so either.
I think, okay, see, that's the difference.
I would say yes because it's creator owned.
Yeah, because, okay, what's the definition? Because I think the definition in what indie means in comics, yeah, is different than what indies mean towards everything else. Like an indie movie, that's like a B-rated movie, right? It's not produced by like a major Hollywood company or something like that. But in comics, because we have indie like DCs, or because I would say Nice House on the Lake is considered an indie read, but like, and that's where I think the definition is like kind of, in my opinion, it's anything that's not superhero stuff.
Well, it feels like an indie read. All the Black Label the stuff read like indies, but the truth be said, it's DC.
Yeah, but like I agree, like because that's weird, like to say the two big two. and now Image has been around since the 90s. Or
So let me go down my list real quick. So these are my top series. So I'm gonna go down just really fast of my indie reads. So I have the Department of Truth issues 1 through 13. I love the Department of Truth. Did you read that one, Journey?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I was enjoying it very much. The Bigfoot run got a little bit weird for me. Like I was like very very close to dropping it completely.
Yeah.
Around 11 or 12 issues.
A
Right,
lot of people felt that way.
I was really right about to do that, and I just muscled it through to get to 13.
it was too close to home for them. They felt like they were finally tracking down Comic Journey. They're like, oh shit, they know about.
Yeah, they really messed me up with that one. You know, they
Yeah,
blew,
well,
blew right off.
I love conspiracy theories and just getting into them and talking about them and thinking
So
about
do
them.
I.
So I love that series. So
They
yeah,
just got a little too.
Yeah.
They dragged it out. I need a little bit more like action.
Yeah.
Like I don't
and
mind
isn't
reading.
that the main gripe for Something Is Killing the Children?
I think they're doing that right now with them as well. They're dragging it out a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
And you know what? Simple stupid is not a bad thing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't have to always be intellectual and wordy. You could do a combination of making it clever, intellectual, and still have some action simultaneously going on with it. So I love Something's Killing the Children. I never thought I would have until I actually started reading them. But I feel like it's boring me a little bit. I can't read one issue at a time.
That's what I hear everyone say, is that
I need to read
nowadays
them
you
in
have
clusters.
to wait for the trade. Yeah, we'll just wait for the trade because waiting is not rewarding right now.
It just drags on.
Yeah,
For a
reading
monthly
week by
book,
week. Yeah, monthly.
you can't do that. You have to give a little bit more punch. I'm hoping with this House of Slaughter thing, it'll have a little bit more punch to it.
Yeah, I pulled issue 1 of that House of Slaughter. I saw you had the foil variant as well.
Yeah, I picked up all four of the how you call it trades, A, B, C, and D.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I pulled the foil intersparsed variant from my comics. I haven't picked it up yet, so I am looking forward to read that after not having read any issues of Something Is Killing the Children yet. So Geiger, I have issues 1 through 6 of Geiger. Did you read that, Journey?
Great read.
I loved it. Picture
Very
me 6 months into comic books.
And that's what you start, yeah.
This is my first indie superhero, and I will forever remember it. And I'm saddened that they're actually moving on to Junkyard Joe, because I feel like
was coming out soon for Geiger.
Yeah, the 80 page. I'm looking forward to that one.
No. We're getting him back. He's just he's at the very end of that timeline. We're gonna get like Junkyard Joe, and then we're gonna go like Mystic Cred.
You know, I was with Nick the comic, I was with Nick's Kicks and Comics at an LCS talking about Geiger, and I was like, man, I'm scared, man. That timeline completely got me spooked. The fact that they're moving off of Geiger, Tariq Geiger, the most beloved character in the modern, Image.
I thought they were going to
reverse. They're moving to Junkyard Joe after 1 season. What does that tell you about their timeline and how long it's going to take and how like unplanned, I think, besides that map, like to me, I'm very fearful on the future of that.
I kind of almost like that because they're not going to overkill it.
We're going to get 6 volumes before we go back to Geiger.
They're going to let us breathe a little bit.
That's unfathomable to me. I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the ride.
As long as they give us a little bit of closure.
Well, they said these issues are only going to be 4-issue runs, to my knowledge. Now they have we know a bunch of like Joker was supposed to be a 12-issue run, and they've extended that indefinitely. So I mean, they could do something like that. I guess it depends on the feedback from the characters. But as far as I know, they're only going to spend 4 issues. So we should get. They said 2023 is what I've heard from, but I'm not positive.
My whole perspective is they saw what a lightning strike Geiger was. Why deviate so hard? Unless they know that the potential of the other characters will surmount to it. So there's there could be a major upside, there could be a major downside, but it is admirable that they are planning out a whole universe. That's pretty interesting.
You know, Gideon Falls, I've only read issue 1, so I can't really give much more than much feedback. I know it's deep into the run right now, so I'm not the greatest person to give any commentary on that. I don't know if anybody else here has read that.
House of Slaughter is a spin-off. It's not
It's a prequel, isn't it?
It's like a sequel spin. No, because it's happening modern, but it's more because it's about Eric and it's not about what's his name? Aiden. Damn, fuck, I'm bad with names. Aaron. It's about Aaron, and he's just another member of the House of Slaughter, and that's what they're going to start doing. It's going to be about
happening simultaneously now.
Yes,
I haven't even read the free comic yet. The one that from Free Comic Book. Yeah, they purposely. I didn't want to read it because I didn't want to spoil it for myself.
Yeah, that's what you got anyways. It's just a preview to the first issue. So as far as I know, I haven't seen the inside of House of Slaughter, but I think that's all it was just a preview of that issue.
Okay, so all right.
But I mean, that's what it is. It's just it's just supposed to be a branch of the universe.
I was under the impression that it was a prequel, but that's even better if it's not a prequel. I'm actually happier with that. I'm definitely happy with that.
Indy, keep going.
See, the art is it's matching for this kind of book.
Let me see the first page. What's the first page, and I'll be able to tell you.
That's a new. That wasn't in the Free Comic Book Day.
Keep going.
Spoilers, people. If you haven't read House of Slaughter.
But at the end of the no, that looks different. Yeah, it might be. You might need to read it because at the end, no, it should be a preview because it seemed like it was part of that comic. But I remember at the end of it, he's like going through the woods and he falls down like a hill or something in the snow.
Was these little girls in this thing in the preview?
Not that I remember, but see, that's what he's doing is because they're trying to introduce the other I don't know what they're called, the other groups inside the House of Slaughter, because in the last issue of Something is Killing the Children, we got more definition of the different masks and what they represent, like the black mask, the blue mask, the white mask, and stuff like that. So they all have different objectives, and like Erica's crew, she's the crew that goes after like the biggest, baddest monsters that they run into. But like his crew, I forget what I think he's in the same crew as Erica, but he's supposed to be like her sidekick or something like that. Like I don't know. That's how. Like how would you?
Wasn't he her mentor or something like that, or no?
I think
the Owl's her mentor. What is this owl?
Oh, Aaron to Erica.
This is like a little glowing owl. By the way, Glenn, thank you for being part of it. And Mike, thank you for introducing Glenn to the channel.
Yeah, Glenn's awesome. He's in all those chats, Team and Nerd and everybody. Like I always see him, man. What's up, Glenn?
Same when
if he hears a little bit more what comes out of my mouth, he might have to run away. But
he was warned before he came here, so he came here for that, buddy.
I've been good. I've been at good behavior today, guys.
Yeah, you have been. You've been very mellow and no ranting. It's been a different.
I took my tranquilizers before I started.
I some gummies, some.
I haven't been trying to piss him off either, and usually that's what gets him going.
I'm tired. It's freaking late.
What do you call it? No, you're right though, because Aaron was there before Erica came into the House of Slaughter. But I think the way the story progressed is she's just so much a better monster hunter. I think at this point in the story, like she's further like in the House of Slaughter than he is. But I think it's because he's scared and timid. He's not. He did. I think it's because he came into that world differently than she did. But I think that's what we're getting is we're just getting. Damn it, don't make me big. But we're just getting his version of the story. Now I'm looking at myself. That's why I don't like that. I don't mind talking. I don't like being big. I don't mind being but it's and now I'm just looking. Hey there, Mike.
That's why my eyes are always just shifting. Yeah, it's hard to
while
not.
you're talking. I won't put you on the spot.
No, see, I'm good with this because now I'm looking at the comic, and because people know I don't mind talking. No, but I think that's what it is. It's just supposed to be like a spinoff, but I think we're just getting his side of the story because we're taking a break with her side of the story. But I totally agree. Like, it sucks reading Something is Killing the Children issue by issue because there's not a lot that happens.
Drags.
Yeah, it does.
I think Promiscuous Time Traveler, he's like the biggest, I guess, antagonist for this series, and he's actually gonna end up destroying that slipcase, that $100 slipcase.
Yeah, what do you think of that book burning? Honestly, your honest opinion.
I'm not gonna comment because I don't want to go into it.
I will. I'll comment.
Go ahead.
You want to say anything, Leo, before I open my mouth?
Yeah, just so I don't, just so I can get it out.
So you guys know I don't really mince words about things, and I'm not here to make enemies with anybody and say anything negative about anybody, especially in the community. We all have the right to agree to disagree about different stuff. My personal opinion about this is there's books I absolutely hate. Like, I really hate these books, but I'll never burn them. I'll give them away.
Agreed.
Well, let me
color them.
So he
embellish them in a way.
He offered it for sale. He offered it for before all of this happened. I'm pretty sure he went on Instagram and said, "Hey, who wants to buy this? DM me." So unless he got no offers or the offers are too low, that's when the idea, I believe, started. We all know Tyler and Lee's channel called Whack Comics. They have a thing called Whack Hack where they destroy comics, not in a book burning sense, not in a censorship sense, not in the eraser sense.
Believe me, they burn plenty of.
Well, but not in the sense of censorship or any type of, not something like that. They do it as a gag. They do it as a joke, and that's where I believe that may be happening. They're kind of alluding to that this is going to be a whack hack, so I'm not sure.
Well, it could be that's the case, but I think it's coming from a different level from Kyle. I think he just hates the book, and there's nothing wrong with hating the book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what? If he just did it like at a front, like if I'm pissed right now, I'm on my tranquilizer, so I'm on good behavior today. But if I'm pissed and I'm getting there and I'm holding a book and I'm just like I'm talking and it rips in my hands because I'm like pissed off at that moment, so be it. But if I go with the premeditation of putting a video together, hey guys, tune in next time and I'm going to burn this Legion of Superheroes. It doesn't work well for me, as far as
here's what I would put up.
Let's intentionally go and burn stuff. Like if you've seen Whack Comics, he randomly goes and burns freaking berserkers. And you know what? I've actually said, how many books are you going to burn? And all of a sudden he starts burning books. It's a gag, and it's a specific book that he keeps doing every time. And it's part of the comedy. And the other thing is he doesn't have a GoFundMe that's attached to it to say, you keep funding me and I'll keep burning berserkers. They're doing it on their own dime.
So and with that though, it's a donation. I think as far as today, Kyle's gotten 50 out of 100 of his goal, I guess, to cover the expense of the book.
So that kind of bugs me a little bit too. Again, I love what Kyle does. He's a little weird in a good way.
I wish we could have him on right now. I hate to talk. I
wish too. And like I said, I'm not the kind of guy that is going to bad talk about anything, because I don't think I'm talking bad about him. I'm just not agreeing with what he's doing.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay not to agree, but I would put up there that when you do an act like that, you're going to create an emotional response from a lot of people.
And I also feel it has to be spontaneous.
What'd you say?
I also feel like something like that needs to be spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if for example, I'm sitting here with a stack of books, and you see a big bucket of Kool-Aid fall on them. Okay, it might be funny, but you know that's premeditated. But if I'm sitting here with a glass of Kool-Aid next to me, and I accidentally spill it over and turn them all into Kool-Aid books, that's spontaneous. It's actually probably funnier and stupider on my end. But I just don't like premeditating to destroy any kind of literature, even if it's good literature, bad literature, whatever the case is. It
Yeah,
bugs me.
that's a fair opinion to have. No one's gonna take that away. Like no one can take that away from you. No one.
I just
Yeah.
don't like. That was a bound book.
I think the only thing that really bothers me right now, the biggest thing was how it was presented, and he said he got it as a gift, and I
That's
was
the
there.
other part of it
I
too.
was
Somebody
there.
actually spent money to give it to his.
I
I
was
didn't know
there.
that part.
I was
Yeah.
there when he unboxed it, and I don't know the whole story, so that's why it sucks because, but okay, in my opinion, that was a gift, right? And okay, yeah, once you buy a book, right, it's yours. You could do whatever you want with it, but like if it was a gift, it's a different story. And then on top of that, like I have friends that actually love that book and wanted that hardcover and were waiting to buy it, and for someone to like destroy the book because they have it, like why do you have it? Give it to someone. You don't have
And
to.
not only that, he got it as a gift. Just pay it forward to somebody else. Perfect example. I got a book I'm getting ready to send you over, Mike. I'm sending you over an Excalibur 2 that you want.
Excalibur 2? Yeah, all right.
Yeah. I personally have zero appreciation for that series or for that comic for my reasons. I'm just not an Excalibur guy. Even though I don't appreciate the book, I know that other people do appreciate it. And I think you'll like it because you have issue 1 and you put it, you add it to your collection.
Yeah.
It would upset me. Now you could do whatever the hell you want with it; it's your thing. But it would upset me if you tell me, "Yeah, I do want it for my collection," and then I give it to you, and then you burn it when I could have given it to somebody else. That
Okay,
could
so
appreciate it.
what if his $100 is giving that person that gifted him the $100? What then?
Like if you give somebody something, do you really want them to give you the money and say, "I'm going to burn it instead"?
Well, no, that's definitely not the first. That's not the best option for sure.
You get what I'm saying? It's just, like I
But
said,
kind of go with what you're going for because it presents something good. Like because he didn't know he was getting that, and like I mean, if someone's giving him a gift, they should know him because we all do know that he doesn't like that book. So I thought that was weird when someone had given him that gift. That's why I thought at that part I thought it was a gag because like like if you watch Promiscuous Time Travel, you know that. I mean,
actually, what a
so,
great gag would have been if they ripped the cover off and put another book in there.
oh my God! But
That for me would have been freaking gold.
Like if it would have been a Berserk from Whack, like if it would
Oh
have
my
been a
god, that would have been gold. That would have been
Berserk,
like, oh
so
my
I
god.
don't know the whole story, so that's why I don't want to comment too much. But in my honest opinion, there's a lot of other things that you could do besides burning or destroying a book. And even if you like hate the book beyond comprehensive, like I mean, still you could sell it. You could, I mean, there's all kind of things you could have done. I don't know, but I just like that's why I believe like when I saw it, it's a comedy bit. I don't think I think it's satire. I don't think I think
I get it. And listen, I'm an angry dude, right? I'm always pissed about everything, right?
Mm.
I don't mince words. If I don't like stuff, I say about it, whatever it is. And if Kyle ends up seeing this at any time or another, I'm not saying this in malice or in any single way. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just disagreeing with that whole premise of destroying it because that kind of a thing. No judgment, nothing. But it's become a hot topic. I've had people message me, "What do you think about that?" Whatever. Because I didn't know what the hell you. I saw him talking about it the other time with. Actually, I was watching live. I think it was on Chris's the Comic Vets video
Yeah.
when he was doing it? I think it was that there where he brought it up that he was going to do that. And even then, I think I commented at that point. I wasn't live on the stream with them. You bastards! You don't put me on the stream. I open up the platform to everybody. They don't put me on there. They exclude me anyway. I'm not gonna get started. Like I said, the tranks are kicking in today. But I even said in the comment thing, like I don't agree with that. I'm not a big fan of just burning things or destroying things just for the hell of it. Again, if it's spontaneous, or if it's a set gag that happens over and over again, like the Berserker thing, I could get down with that a little bit more. You got it as a gift. It's not. I don't know. I don't feel like it's a cool thing to do. But again, to each their own. I'm not going to judge the guy. I just gave my commentary, my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's his, so that's. I mean, he can do with.
That's why I said to each their own. They could do anything they like with whatever it is, and it's not going to change my opinion about the guy. I'm going to continue to watch his show. I'm going to continue to bug him on the comments because that's what I do. But you know, he's got his own unique way and approach to it, and you know that's it. That's basically it. And like I said, if you ever watch this, Kyle, at any point, I'm not being apologetic right now. Just let's be clear about this. I'm not being apologetic at all because whatever I say, I mean. Like this is me. I'm just saying my true opinions and how I feel about things. Oh yeah, DC. I'm just saying things the way I feel and that kind of thing. So I never apologize about my feelings and my opinions because they're mine. All I'm going to say is I just don't agree with the whole thing. That's it. And, I'll end it at that. I mean, unless you guys want to continue on that thing, I'm just going to give DC a oh yeah because he had jumped on here towards the end. But that's it. Like look at this. I forgot that I had this box so that I didn't open up. This was the only box I got in today, thank God, because I got too many boxes. Gemini, just a couple books that I got really, really cheap. And by the way, I'm opening these more for you, Leo.
Okay.
These are not that
Marvel Comics Presents.
And Marvel Comics Presents 1 and 2. Got these for a really great deal on eBay. Cost me $7, and I believe total $10 with the shipping. It got put in a damn Gemini mailer, believe it or not. And they're both newsstands.
Oh wow, nice.
Hey, look.
And aren't all those Marvel Comics Presents double covers in a sense? They have the back cover as well.
And that's the reason I popped them out more specifically for you, Leo, because I want to show you something that's really important. Since you're a new collector. And a great way to get introduced to a lot of characters. You take a book like this. You got the headliner who's Wolverine. They're typically 32-page books, which get split into 4 stories. Well, doing the math, 8 pages per story. Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You got Wolverine. You got Man-Thing. You got
cool.
some Shang-Chi action, and you got a Silver Surfer action.
Oh wow!
And you got this. Look! That's for you, Mike. Look at that.
Like what? No, that's for me. What a weird mix.
That's FOMO style.
You got Man-Thing, Shang-Chi, what the fuck is
Silver Surfer? You're getting a little. You're getting mutants. You're getting cosmic. You're getting kung fu action. You're getting a weird plant creature.
How did they get around? Did they have like a show? How are they going on adventures like with Man-Thing? And did they all hop on the surfboard? Is that it?
Yeah, probably.
No. That's such a weird team up. Like,
would that be Would that be late 80s or early 90s?
Well, that's the thing, Mike. You know that they're not team ups, right?
Or early 80s, I think.
Really?
This is mid 80s.
Mid 80s. I was gonna say like 84, 85, something like that.
No, this is after that. This got to be actually 88, 89. Believe it or not. I'll tell you right now what year it is. Oh, it's right on target. 88.
Because then they were drawing Wolverines like with this funky, weird, and tall I like him there, but man, that cover with it and flip back over to the cover. Look how tall his like.
This is a really bad cover. He made him lanky. This is much better. This is much better of a Wolverine cover.
Much better cover.
They can't all be winners, but they're
They
not. These are not team ups.
No.
These are individual stories.
Yeah.
So that's why these Marvel team ups are really great ways to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
To a lot of different characters, and get a little bit more knowledgeable. Who farted? Let's see. Steve Nicole farted.
It was Glenn. Glenn's always farting. Hey, Sith.
Girls don't fart, Glenn.
They do. But
Hey,
they
Sith, how you doing?
They fart roses and strawberries and.
Yeah, this is exactly where the party's at. You just got me.
What's up, Sith?
You just missed me calling somebody out, not in a bad way. And I'm probably going to have the whole community get on my ass tomorrow about it.
I love Kyle. Don't say it like that.
I'm telling you, did I say anything bad?
No, but
I guarantee you I'm going to get hate messages tomorrow. Tell me, how could you talk like that? You bastard. You damn comic journey Nazi. That's what they're going to call me. You know? And all I said is my opinion, you know? Everybody's going to say something. It is a hot topic in the community today. And we're doing this stream to be on today, like it's New Comic Book Day. We're talking about the community. We're talking about topics that are interested to people. And people want to know about this book burning crap. So I talked about it. I gave my input. And that's it. Again, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody else. I'm just saying what I feel. That's it. That's it. Wait, Sith, you still there? I probably chased him away.
He chased away everybody. What are you talking about? Just pull out the Kool-Aid thing. And you see, you didn't give Sith the, oh, yeah. That's why he left. Oh, he's still there.
He said someone got reamed.
Oh, yeah.
Now, okay.
That's Mr. Spytix himself.
Sith is cooler than that. Come on. The Kool-Aid man.
Oh, yeah.
I was always trying to figure out how he busted through the damn wall. It's a glass jar. Like, wouldn't he break? He'd be like, oh.
He's got some nuclear liquid in there.
There's kids like
a
drinking.
literal home wrecker. He is the literal worst friend you could ever have. Like, he just wrecks homes.
Right? Man, that was my favorite wall.
He's like, no, don't worry, I'll get it. I'll get you on it, man. You're good. I'll pay for it.
Sith, by the way, Tyler contacted me on Saturday night to try to hop on or so at some point on the Ticks. And by the time he did it, I had already fallen asleep and I wasn't looking at IG. I had hopped on early on. I fell asleep. You know what happens every time when I watch Spine Ticks? This is the weirdest thing. I don't know if you notice how I hop in and out of the comments.
No.
It will be like 12 o'clock. I'm making a comment. Then all of a sudden it's like 2:30. I'm making more comments. Then it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing more comments. You know why that happens? Do you have any idea?
No.
It's because I'm falling asleep with the phone right next to me with the damn thing on. I wake up. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about right now? I hop in. I say another comment. And that's it.
Yeah.
He must love it for the algorithm, having my phone on all night for the entire thing. I'm probably one of the few that he has running through the whole night.
You got like 3 in the chat that are with us the whole night. Like Nicole and SSG are usually all there. Glenn, that's where
I tap out, man. I'm not gonna lie. I tap out around like 1 or 2. I'm just like, man, it's
sometimes if you catch me wired, I'll be on.
Look, here's
if I'm wired, I'm on. But most of the time, what happens? I drift off, and then I hear adult babies go on, and then I wake up again.
Right? When you see the adult babies, that's when the show's getting fun. Fool.
That gets me going. Then I see some B movie vampire reviews, which I'm like all up in there.
Those are great.
That is free energy in here, Leo. Leo's right here with us.
Yeah, what's up, Sith?
If you want to jump on, Sith, you're more than welcome. I'm not going to stay on for much longer, but if you want to jump in just to say hello and maybe I'll put him on the spot and get his commentary on the whole what are we going to call this? Killing Children Gate? What are we going to call that book?
Something is killing. Something is killing.
Sick Gate. We gotta come up with
It's killing that book. No.
Something is killing. Something is killing the children.
something's burning the children. That's what I'm gonna call it. Maybe we need to add like some special controversial tag to it. But like he hits us with the adult babies. We see the B movie reviews. The Hallmark reviews are freaking classic. And then he busts out with that freaking DJ in the robe, which honestly I can't get enough of. He's got to make a video with just that DJ doing his thing in the robe.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then mixing in those adult babies while he's doing that.
That's how we start the show right there, man. And then we start out with NWA, and he gets it popping, man. He's got many names, and one of my favorite is Clip Lordley. Like I mean, if you go on the show, you're gonna get clipped. It's all about having fun. And
Sith is on his game, and honestly, Lady Sith, she's on her game too. She's sitting there, she's keeping everybody interactive. He's got a lot of people commenting. There's no way they're going to keep up with it. She's the one that's keeping the chat going, interacting with everybody. Not like me. I got 4 or 5 people on the chat, and I can't even keep up with that.
You just learned how to do that last week, okay? So,
dude, I just learned how to do this. Look what I'm doing. Look at my special effects. Look. Wow, look at that. We got a smiley face crying.
Nothing's killing the beanbag. Nothing.
Look at this.
Nothing is killing the beanbag.
LOL. Blow my mind. Look at that.
We are in the future.
Mm-hmm.
This is technology, my friends. This is fancy graphics like you've never seen before.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, Kool-Aid's in the basement. I couldn't take him anymore. It's too late. I had to lock him in there again.
Sith said Lady Sith gave you the thumbs up and says thanks.
Well, you know what? Both of
Shout
you
out
get,
Lady Sith.
Both of you get 2 thumbs up. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I didn't even say what I felt about this guy's packing. He did an excellent job for $7 books. He puts it in a Gemini mail. He used blue tape. What can I say anything negative about that? No, he did great.
Go back to the beginning of your books while you're talking, so those people that are jumping in, you keep showing off the same 2 books.
Oh well, this should have been on. It should have been on, but I gotta be showman.
And we love him.
Be a showman. Did everybody see the Puppet Master?
Yeah, I love Puppet Master.
I think this might have to be my WTF book of the day, right?
Maybe.
It's got to be, right? No, actually, no.
The V Wars.
No.
Oh, the V Wars.
This is the WTF book of the day.
That's not WTF. The V Wars that we found out that it was a TV show. That's a WTF right there. Not a comic that you've never heard of, and it's got a TV show. What? Like, no, I never heard of that.
Maybe. What do you? Let's give
That's
it
a
a
nice
vote.
cover.
Let's give it a vote. Who gets the WTF today? Should it be V Wars,
Or
Kickers Inc., and we'll even throw some DP7 #1 in there.
That looks like the Love and Rockets almost homage.
I'd love to hear, chat. Let me know. What do you think? Who deserves a big WTF?
Me.
I know what my vote gets. My vote goes to this thing.
All right, give it to Kickers. It's your choice, man. It's your show.
Nah, I'm open. I'm open. I don't want to be closed-minded.
I've never personally heard of Kickers, DP7, or V Wars.
Holy crap! Sleeping just woke up out of nowhere. How you doing, Sleeping?
Mark's here?
Yeah. He's in the middle of planning for his NFT takeover tomorrow morning. Like he's in Wall Street. Have you guys caught his channel lately?
I watch every one of his videos.
Oh,
I
he's
find
been doing some serious action with those NFTs.
it's very interesting. I'm not into NFTs like that, but I like to hear about the movement and stuff like that. It's interesting.
Neither am I. But I am very, very intrigued, and I'm very open-minded to any new possibilities of investments down the line and that kind of thing. I am. But I am very, very cautious. Very cautious. Like it's a little bit,
It's the same thing. It reminds me of the same thing of cryptocurrency when it first started. Of course, everybody was, cautious and this and that, but now it's kind of like
there is a difference, though. You know what I'm saying? You can't go buy a loaf of bread with a copy of a digital ASM1. You know what I'm saying?
Not yet.
Well, will they get to that point? You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's the same way I can't go give a copy of Kickers One to get some eggs at the supermarket.
You could try.
Or I could try. And they'll probably kick me in the ass.
I have a gas station in my tiny town, and that gas station has a Bitcoin ATM to where you can buy Bitcoin from it.
Could you imagine? I go to the supermarket and say, guys, I need a loaf of bread. I need milk,
tea.
I need a piece of meat to feed my family, and this is how I'm gonna pay you. Here, Kickers Inc. It's number one, and you know what else? On top of it being number one, it's a newsstand.
Oh yeah,
it's a variant. It's a secret variant.
Well, that's only going to get you like some eggs. That's not going to, that's not enough to pay for like.
I'll take the eggs. I'll take one egg. I'll take 2 eggs, whatever. But no, you get my point. Like these are commodity. These are collectibles. Even the NFTs, they're considered collectibles.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not. It's not tradable. Monetary type of thing. It's tradable. People will exchange money to purchase them, but your average place, you can't go into the 7-Eleven and pull out an NFT and say, "Hey, here's my sports."
My only thing about the online NFT market is it's just like any online market. It's very rife with botters and bot networks. So you just set up a program, or you literally buy 200 phones, and you have a factory, a warehouse that you are literally having hundreds and thousands of accounts at once. And that's how they've been able to get, a lot of NFTs and a lot of, like, say, just sneakers and stuff. Anything you can buy online is very fallible right now in terms of botting. Yeah, that's my only thing.
What should we make into the song, Glenn? Let me know what we should make into the song.
All right.
I'm curious. You don't want to hear me sing, but I'll have Mike sing.
I can sing.
Already made a song with you.
No, I agree. I agree, because already online there's a tremendous amount of bots and fake accounts. That's why anybody on YouTube, if you have a channel, that's why your subs vary at certain times, because YouTube's going through and looking for burner accounts and stuff like that. But
look what they do to me every time I play big balls.
They just like banning you. That's a difference.
They love just get me. And I purposely at the beginning of the stream play big balls. Let's see what happens.
I mean, do you pay tribute to YouTube? Do you appreciate what YouTube allows you to do? Do you? I do. I've actually shot out YouTube and be like, "Thank you for allowing me to have my." I don't pay anything to be on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
All right, YouTube. Thank you very much. Here's my tribute. Thank you, Google gods. Thank you. Would you like it if I tickle your nuts, your little YouTube nuts? Will that make you feel better?
Watch this episode. They won't ban because you did that. You see that? Watch.
Look, I'm tickling your YouTube nuts. Come on.
This is gonna be your most viewed video.
Right?
Come on. Let's tickle the YouTube nuts.
Bags.
Come on already, man. I'm so sick of it. Look at this. Look at this. Sith played it. Or Ted played it.
Ted did.
On Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Watch that rewind, Mike.
I didn't
play. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What? I see. I'm. Now I'm gonna get angry, and now I'm gonna get aggravated with this YouTube. Why are they banning me and not banning Ted? Ted for playing
We
big
get
ball.
banned. We get banned. You talk about how many copyright infringements we get, and ask
I
it.
get a lot. I get them
So-
on every video. I get hit with a copyright strike, some kind of strike. But I never had a situation where they literally pulled off the video because of that.
I think
big-
our
The
If I'm
big
not
ball incident was they pulled off my entire video and blocked it, and I
If
had
I'm
to do some kind of special thing to like mute it and take it out, and they ruined my mojo. It just took my mojo away.
Yeah, see, look at Sith. He put Mongolian copyright every Saturday, like, and he still does it. We know at this point we're gonna get certain bans because what we do and all the different clips and stuff he shows. I mean, we do Hallmark, we do horror, we do. So he's just not phased by it. Our
What the hell's
first
the Mongolian copyright?
we play Mongolian music, like a whole music video where we all like jam to Mongolian music for a good like 5 minutes, and he switches
He
it
gets
up.
copyrights for that?
Yeah. Hallmark
Yeah,
was
hell,
Hallmark was the first time we did Hallmark. We thought like, bro, like who, like why would they copyright? Like who's talking about Hallmark, right? Nobody, right? Nobody on YouTube's talking about Hallmark, and that's why Sis started doing it. It's ingenious, but like the first time we did Hallmark on the show, we got a copyright ban.
Well, that I could understand, but the Mongolian music, what the hell? What? Do they even have like copyright protections in Mongolia?
Everything, I think, everything that once it becomes a monetized thing, like he said, that's why he doesn't care about the copyright bans because he's not monetized. So
Do they have patents and trademarks in Mongolia?
I would imagine. I mean, if they're on YouTube,
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry to the Mongolian world out there if you're listening and I'm offending you in any way.
you have to figure
Well,
that
it's
out.
definitely
apologize.
because they're
I
signed
apologize.
on a label.
Listen,
Like,
Mongolia,
it's probably that. Yeah.
trademark guys and patent people. I'm gonna tickle your nuts with YouTube. I apologize for offending you for your Mongolian trademarks, but I'm not gonna bash the country or nothing, but are you seriously gonna be hitting us with damn copyright strikes from Mongolia? You should be ecstatic that somebody's playing your damn music outside of the country. Come on, guys.
I think it's just. I don't even think it's a
Spread
real.
the word to the rest of the country. You should be giving licenses away. Give spine ticks. Please play more. And make sure you please write down who's saying that and where you could get an A-track, because I think they still use A-tracks in Mongolia. You see what you can get the A-track, and then I don't know. It's just freaking retarded. Come on.
If they weren't signed to a label, I don't
actually
think he would
played-
get.
I actually played a couple of Greek songs once,
Yeah.
and I got blown out of the water because of that. I'm like, are you serious? Come on. It's not like Greece is a world beating right now in the economy, and they need to be copyright. They should be ecstatic that I'm playing it outside of the country and getting some recognition and traction
Because I
back
don't
to
think,
their
I
stuff.
don't think it's them. It's just like it's bots. And anytime you play, like, say for instance, I think it's music and everything. I'm not guaranteed, but I think it's like every time you play something longer than like 5 seconds, something kicks in.
It's all full digital
Well,
signatures nowadays.
They
They have
kiss
a
my
digital
bot
code.
ass with
Well,
their
that's
YouTube
I don't think
algorithms.
you think it's like real people that's like going through all of our videos, like
You think it's not real people.
It's
You
not.
think this is Big Brother watching you.
Well, it's
You
Big
think so?
Brother, but it's Big Brother and like
That's a real
Big
person
Brother.
right there.
It-
Cameron right there. That's my buddy.
It's got his
Is it?
eyeballs right on
Yeah.
you.
the freest of the energies.
Yeah.
How you doing, Cameron? Thanks for joining us. You got big eyeballs from Big Brother just staring and gazing on you.
Yeah, look. Highlight this and then read his, and it'll make a lot more sense to you. Like, look, find his comment that he just wrote, and then highlight it, and then read it.
Cannibal Suburbia, and I played a song and wrote, and I got dinged for his own song.
That's right. And he has copyrights license too, because what it is just bots. And anytime you play like music over 5 seconds long, that you get like a copyright, like note like that, where they have to, like, at that point, I think what it is a bot just like says, "Oh, we heard music," so that it goes
Yeah,
into
you think that that's the case? It's some freak out there watching you and basically say, you know what, Sith? We know that you wrote that song, but we're gonna make you kiss our ass. You're gonna write a letter, and you're gonna tell us, and you're gonna give us proof that that's really you, because we don't think you're human. You're
Yeah,
not a real human, Sith.
then type in the box.
Nothing belongs to you. You know why? Because we're YouTube and we're Google, and even though that belongs to you, it belongs to us. We're the copyright police. Doesn't matter
You
you
know,
wrote it.
you know
We're
how
gonna
big
tell you if it's okay or not.
You know how
That's
big
what's happening.
employees would have to be
This
to watch
stupid
all
eye
of
in the sky is sitting and watching. George Orwell is freaking rolling in his grave because he said this was going to happen, and nobody believed it.
Bro, like if you had that job to just sit there and watch like hours of video, to like, if that's all you were doing, well, man, you
I
talk
want to be
about
the guy to watch spine ticks. I want
That
that
guy's a
job.
freaking
That seems pretty
loser.
chill.
All
that's
he
what I
does
was
is sit.
thinking.
The guy's eyeballs are probably like this.
like,
They
like,
got googly
Look at
eyes.
this.
It's just
Like
sitting
the
there with the
energy.
freaking eyes on the screen.
like Leo's job would be to watch, Spine Ticks 24/7, right? And then my job would be to watch like Comic Journeys 24. I'd be like, oh God, this guy ranting again. Like,
Maybe if I rant enough, they'll just leave me alone. You hear that,
you're like,
Google? Do you
you're
hear?
like,
I took all the ways. I tickled your nuts, and now I'm gonna punch you in the nuts if you keep
Whoa.
copyrighting it.
what is
Had
it?
enough. That's what they need. A good punch in the googly eye nuts.
It's you know what's worse is it's not a person that's pissed off at you that's banning you. It's a robot that's like egging
It's
you
the
on.
googly eye guy in the sky. I'm
It's a
telling
robot.
you.
There's a robot out there that hates you. It's like he keeps playing these big balls.
It's actually one sentient AI that sees all. He's very omnipotent. He's everywhere at once.
What's his name, Bob?
Probably.
Is it Junkyard Joe?
We'll see in issue 1 of Junkyard Joe, coming out by Image Comics by Jeff Johns.
Everybody tickle that beanbag and make sure that you don't get those copyrights. Come on, guys.
You know what's really weird is like this is what doesn't make any sense to me, right? You can
Look
get
at that. Actual Dracula has come by for a visit. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, you could get copyright banned for like music, right?
Now we get copyrighted because you know why? I
Why?
said Dracula.
No, we're gonna get copyright because we have actually Dracula in here now, and the other Dracula that's not actual Dracula, he's gonna get pissed off, and he's gonna try and. Don't you see the ramifications of what you bring into these rooms? Okay, look, so no, I'm playing. I don't know.
I'm sick of this. Honestly, if this keeps going, I swear they're gonna get a big digital punch in the nuts, and I'm done. I'm done tickling their balls. I'm done massaging their beanbags. Next thing is a punch in the nuts.
All right, we're gonna start a comic tube. It's gonna be called Comic Tube, so we don't have to worry about censorship.
Comic. Oh, you said start a whole new thing?
Yeah.
Will it run off of Google?
No.
Okay.
Like how hard could that be to start your own like URL? Like, I don't know. It can't be that hard.
It'll take some resources, take some server space, but that's not too bad.
They're gonna crush us the same way they crush Parler, and the same way they crush all that other stuff that tries to be anarchists in this digital society.
You're getting a Hollywood steam, maybe. I don't know. What's he talking? That's your friend. What's the steam?
Oh, actually, Steen. I think
maybe he meant stream.
No, there is a thing called Steen.
Well, Steam is video game.
Oh, is that what it is?
Or I
know the name. Something exists.
Oh yeah,
Well,
Steam's a game platform where they
Oh,
sell
you
games.
you you you
see,
think
look,
you own the rights to Dracula, don't you? Huh? Actual Dracula, you really do. Well, guess
that's
what?
actual Dracula. I mean, just say it. It's
Well, guess
actual
what? Hey,
Dracula.
guess what? The Google police doesn't care. It doesn't care. They're gonna hit you with a copyright strike, and then they're gonna tell you, "Tickle my balls,
You don't have
tickle them."
iPhone? Is Google on iPhone?
Oh, Google?
Yeah.
No,
Well, what's wrong with
Safari.
Google?
Isn't Safari on iPhones? I don't have a iPhone because I don't like Apple. I
You
have a
see that?
Samsung.
We play boobs. We play like sis always testing the waters. You don't know until you get banned. No.
All right, we really went off the chain right now. We really did. I got into book burning. I got into copyright strikes. We got into some crazy ass Girl Scouts. You know, we had
Girls.
a lot of stuff. We got kickers. By the way, this gets the WTF of the day. I didn't get enough votes. I don't care. I override everybody.
Nobody voted. They didn't care.
They don't care, but I care. I care. You thought I forgot about it. You thought I was just gonna let it go. I wasn't gonna name the book. Oh no, I was gonna do that. I don't forget. I got a freaking brain like a steel trap. You know, I don't forget a thing. Netflix special of the community would be gold. Would you like us to do I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything because I'm told to do it. I just do things because I say it.
Do you want to be the Kool-Aid Man?
Huh?
Would you be the Kool-Aid Man in that series?
No, I am
He
not
is.
the Kool-Aid Man. The Kool-Aid Man is my co-host.
That's
I
why he
made that
doesn't
very
take
clear
us
with everybody.
Okay.
because
And I put him in the basement because I'm sick and tired of him breaking through my glass and my doors and walls. Put him in the concrete basement. Let him sit down there and stew in his own fluids.
When is he ever going to learn?
Bastard. Doesn't even.
Look, for those of y'all that don't know, Comic Journey's real job is he is really the Kool-Aid Man in real life. That's why he keeps telling me he has to put him in the basement because he's got the whole costume and everything. He actually goes out and does like kids' birthday parties where he crashes through walls and all he does is, oh yeah.
You guys know about the comic book that they're creating with people from the community, right?
And you're gonna be the Kool-Aid Man? Fuck yeah.
I don't know. They asked me, do I want to participate, whatever the case. I told Tyler, listen, I want you to get my hands in the damn video. And if you want to present me like a character, you might as well make me a Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. I might as well be with that guy in the comics. I'm
You
not
could
a
never see him,
superhero.
so how did it look?
What?
You could never see him, so how did he look?
Gadget.
Yeah, that's all you would see is his hands. Like that's all you want to be in the comic is just some
That's
hands.
it. I'm the handman.
You
They
just
could
gonna
get
be
me.
some,
They could get me.
dog
They could get me on panel tickling YouTube's balls.
hands. Okay.
You know.
Some beanbags. Have you done that yet, Free Energy? Are you gonna
What?
be Doom?
Oh,
You're-
I saw that once. Is Tylox is a big part of it, right? Is he
He's
writing? Is he gonna be what?
He's writing it, and then Dave and Roscoe are drawing it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't think anyone's asked me about it, but I did see something about it. So yeah, that is very fun and interesting. I'd like to be in it.
I think the way it's
The
gonna
old
be.
Cartoon Network cartoons where you see the dolphin. Yeah, exactly. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Like
The Peanuts. Wah, 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 wah.
mwah, 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 mwah.
It's gonna be a post-apocalyptic, like where everybody's in it and everybody dies or something like that. But we all get to pick our avatars. So I mean,
Yeah.
if
They're
you
gonna chop my hands off. It's gonna be freaking nuts.
yeah, well, remember the Kool-Aid Man did have hands, so you could just be the Kool-Aid Man's glass hands.
I don't know. I'll leave it up to them. You know, honestly, if I was part of the creative team on that, it'd be a really effed up book. You wouldn't want to read it. The things that are roaming around my mind is it's not a
Bro, if the
publicly
Kool-Aid
friendly
Man-
place.
If the Kool-Aid Man was in like a Walking Dead scenario, I'd be all over that book. I'd be like, yeah, I mean, especially if it was written well and somehow drawn well and somehow they got it to make sense. Like, yes, like, are you kidding me? He'd be like running around like killing people. His like Kool-Aid would be sloshing around, as the book ends. It could be like grape, Kool-Aid as it starts out and as it gets pissed, it goes red and shit. Like, bro, that could be dope.
You know what, guys? I don't know how to end these things, so I think I'm just going to end it.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be a quick stream for me to show off all the crap I got today. And it ended up turning into a very enlightening conversation, a delightful panel that I am very appreciative of. We got funny today. We did some funny stuff. We did some controversial stuff.
No, you did.
We did some copyright strike stuff.
You did. That's you.
The chat has been delightful. They have been more than a cooperative group of people that somewhat appreciated what you guys had to say. I know they didn't appreciate anything I said, but I know they appreciated you guys. So thank you for saving the stream.
We're here for you.
And keeping me on for 3 hours. Did you guys see me getting knocked
thanks
off
for
by
having us, man.
Did you guys see me get knocked off by my panel last week? The last stream? Oh, yeah. I had a full panel. We had like 6 people on. You know what they did? They kicked me off.
Mm-hmm.
I was blocked off of my own channel.
What?
Were you foaming at
How does that work? You tell me there's not a guy with googly eyes in the sky watching. They freaking kicked me off my own channel. How does that work? But it worked. Googly eye Google man basically said, I'm going to get you, Journey. I'm going to fix your ass now.
It's because you're trying to hack because you're trying to hack the dislike algorithm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way, we're not getting close to enough dislikes that we should on that video. And I've been told that a lot of people's dislikes are not showing up.
How many people did so far total that you can see?
I think it's like 38, 39 people that have disliked it. And the amount of views that are dwarf that.
Yeah, because I was trying to tell you that at the beginning. I mean, you can't. I mean, that's hard to just get people to hate, even if it's stated.
And 2 jackasses liked it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's hard.
Who likes a video that you're asking people to dislike it for?
Because there's good people in the world, and they're just that they might not see what you're trying to do.
I don't think they're good. I think they're just trolling me.
I don't know. Maybe it was me. Maybe the two.
I think it was the googly eye guy. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like your video now. No, I'm done. I'm tired. It's late, guys. I'm cutting this down.
Yeah,
I appreciate everybody. Chat, I love you all. Don't forget to go onto the giveaway video, whatever, the giveaway video, and go and write, oh yeah. It's very easy to find it. It's the one that says giveaway and like big things on the thumbnail. Go and do hashtag oh yeah, and you'll get a chance to win some crap. And you like it.
They're screaming on for in the chat.
I'm just making sure that the people that haven't been watching know about that. I want them to win crap too. I want everybody to win crap. And please don't burn it. Please don't burn it. And if you do, don't tell me about it. It would hurt me. It would break my heart. I would have a much more appreciation for you if you wiped your ass with it rather than burned it.
Are you giving away?
At least we can read it with the shit stains and everything. But at least it's still intact. So that's it. I had to go back to that. I'm telling you, I would get so many people freaking giving me shit tomorrow about this. You know, like that. What happens? This is how it happens. I have a stream that like 5 people watch. And I'm thinking, all right, that's it. I only got the 5 people. Who's going to know about what I said to that? One of those 5 people apparently knows another 5 people, and they tell, did you see what that prick said? And then those 5 people tell another 5 people each, and they all turn around and say, oh my God, this guy said that he's a Nazi. And then the next 5 people tell another 5 people each and said, oh my God, this guy's ranting, reading, and saying horrible things about human beings, and so on and so on. And it's like telephone. You ever play that game of telephone when you're a kid, and you're like passing a message? Oh my God, did you hear what he said? And then it changes. The next message.
He's not even reading the chat, man. There's some gold in there, bro.
It's gold, but I'm in a rant. All right, let me read it. And then I'm logging off. I'm done.
Yeah, like right there, the Kool-Aid's man blood is also his bones and muscle. His skin is glass. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, how does that make any sense with the Kool-Aid man? Him burst into walls. Like, wouldn't he break every time he burst into a wall? Because every time they show that picture, he's bursting through a brick wall.
He's got some nuclear fusion,
Yeah, like adamantium glass.
Oh, that's what it is.
Maybe it's not really Kool-Aid and it's Jello that he's filled with.
Maybe it's just his blood.
Because Jello has a way of binding to things, and it could absorb hits.
I'm getting kind of scared, I mean, if he's got this indestructible glass and shit, then
I want to see Kool-Aid Man as a villain now. He's just busting into people's homes and like.
He's like a freaking predator, man. You'll be watching TV like we're watching Three's Company. All of a sudden, wow, oh yeah, what the fuck, man? You destroyed my house,
dude. That is a home intruder.
He's giving you a glass of his sugary water, and it's like this poison or like acid or. He's like, oh yeah.
It's like no, Kool-Aid man. I just brushed my teeth. Okay, I can't drink that.
I'm not starting up again. Come on, I gotta end this. Good night, guys. Thank you all. You're the best. You're the bomb. Oh yeah! Son of a bitch, get back in the basement. Holy shit! How do I turn this off? Turning this off. How do I turn this off? Turning it off.
To catch a predator.
Damn it! I'm turning it